the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I might be having some minor technical difficulties. I'm trying to work through those now. Y'all give me just a moment, all right? Y'all bear with me one moment. Trying to figure out what's going on. Hope everybody's having a great day. Oh, man. What's wrong with my system? Hate when I have these issues. All right, start cam. What is going on? Testing. Testing. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with my system? Y'all give me one moment. Trying to see what's wrong. TD, we miss you, brother. Gaston, man, what's going on? I hope all is well, man. Like I said, give me a moment. You sound good. Hear you, TD. I know it's just something's going on with my picture. It keeps on freeze framing on All right. My sound should be good now. Okay. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. All right, man. Gosh, man, that was a rough start, ain't it? Ain't that a rough start to a stream? Man, so sorry, y'all. I'm slacking, ain't I? Man, we got a lot to talk about. It's a lot that I want to talk about. I actually want to have a serious stream, one of those serious moment streams, give you my takes and my thoughts on everything so far. As you can see, Miami Dolphins victory Monday, Mostert versus Deebo, Tua versus Jimmy G. Talk about all that crap that's been going on the last 24 hours in that regards. Yeah, man, we'll break it down. But FYI, just so you know that this stream is brought to you by Mojo Sports. Mojo is bringing us this stream, allowing us to gather tonight and enjoy this moment. You're able to download Mojo by using this QR code. You can take your camera right now, point it at the QR code so you can download Mojo Sports right now. And it's important for you to download it so that you can see exactly what I be talking about sometimes with the things that we go over. And I'm going to give you an example in just a moment. Let me see here. I'm going to give you an example. All right, let me get that off. Here's an example. Tua Tagovailoa. I told y'all, man, we just got to get Tua in that $40 range, and that's when he's officially making those strides. We got to get Tua just over $40, and he's going to reach a new threshold that he never reached, where people put their money where their mouth is, okay? And listen, he comes up to the most critical part of a schedule and has an opportunity to eclipse 40 with the win over San Francisco and playing well. This is where it matters for the kid. This is where it matters most for Tua. Let's get into that next echelon of quarterbacks. Let's get over $40 a share, and let's go ride out, man. Tua Tagovailoa, I hope at the end of the 49ers game, when we show this next week, that he's over $40, because that means he has arrived, if he is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that too and more. It's a lot of things I want to talk about in that regards. Before we do, I want to show y'all something, because some of y'all may not know about investing. But let me give y'all an example. I'm going to put Mike White in. Yeah, do y'all remember last week I said Mike White is a guy that you may want to invest in? The reason why is it's going to be real hard for him to go lower than he was. He was like at $1 and what was he? $1.89 or something like that. I said it's almost impossible. He could suck on Sunday, and it's impossible for him to go too much lower than he already is. But if he has a big gain, it's a big return. This man went from 186 at the beginning of the month, and now he's 389. That is almost 110% increase on your money. And this is why, even if you don't like him, even if you don't believe in him, this is investing, guys. If you're in Jersey, this is a prime example of what you should be investing in, because if you put $1 million in Mike White a month ago, you got $2 million today worth of value in his stock. That's how that works. Zach Wilson, short his stock, you would have made money by shorting it, betting on it to go down. But it's guys like Mike White, man, it's so much money that they can make for you on platforms like Mojo. So I keep throwing these little bangers. If you're in Jersey, these are the things that can help you create wealth. They can help you create wealth, all right? So just FYI, Mike White is still somebody that I would invest in. Imagine him finishing the season strong, and the team does him like they did Davis Mills. They say, you know what? We're going to move forward next year with Davis Mills. That's what Houston did. And it didn't pay off, but look at Davis Mills. You see what I'm saying? Look at Davis Mills. Started from the bottom. When he got named the starter, he was up to $20. Now he's down to 12. Imagine Mike White going to 20. You can get almost 5-6 times your money worth of value. So these little nuggets be out here for people to invest in. If you're in Jersey, man, I would take advantage of these opportunities. Just my thought. So don't say I ain't been schooling some of y'all's ways to create wealth. But we shall see. All right. But again, follow the QR code right here. You can click on the QR code and download the app. So you'll have it, all right? All right. See here. Now, I do want to go over some breaking news with you guys. Man, this is not good. I want to go over some breaking news with you all. Terron Armstead actually does have a tear in his pec. It's not a sprain. He has a partial tear. But they're hopeful it's not season ending. They are hopeful that it's not season ending. Armstead has a grade 2 pectoral strain, which is a partial tear. I told y'all I spoke to a doctor. They basically said a grade 1 is usually 2 to 3 weeks. A grade 2 is about 4 to 6 weeks. And a grade 3 is you're out too long to be back to play football in the same season. Now, I'm going to clear something out with y'all. There's a false narrative going on out here that's saying the grade 2, he'll probably return within 2 to 3 weeks. Even Mike McDaniel said, I definitely wouldn't put that past him to return in 2 to 3 weeks. That's him being wishful thinking. I mean, he was stronger about Byron Jones starting the season. We're very confident Byron Jones will be available to start the season. That's what he said. Here we are, week 12 or 13 or whatever. No Byron Jones. Now, based off of the medical doctor I spoke to, this could easily be a 4 to 6 week injury, depending on how bad the tear is. If he plays, the doctor told me if he plays in 3 weeks, he'll still be playing in pain, which he risks aggravating it. But you can't rule it out. He may, I don't know. So if you see him in 3 weeks, thank you, Armstead, for making the sacrifice. Thank you for making the sacrifice. So this is going to be interesting. Y'all saw what that O-line looked like without Armstead. Our whole system changes without Armstead. Our whole system changes without Armstead. Or maybe it doesn't. Ooh, I hit my water in my face. Maybe it doesn't. This is where the genius of Mike McDaniel has to show on full display, ladies and gentlemen. I am not going to rule out our success over the next 6 weeks. I personally think Terron Armstead will miss the next 4 games. I personally feel like he will not play Christmas Day and he'll be back around New Year's versus the New England Patriots on the road. But we'll see. That isn't a definitive. I didn't hear that, but this is what the doctor I spoke to said. That's the likely scenario. It could be a week early. It could be a week later. If you don't make the playoffs, you might not even see him again potentially. So I'm not going to write us off. I have to wait to see what Mike McDaniel is going to do. How is he going to have this team playing? What are we going to look like as a team without Terron Armstead with Tua? We've never seen it. We haven't seen Tua without Terron Armstead this year, other than when Armstead just got hurt. We haven't. T-Rich said Tua gets the ball out in 2.5 seconds anyway. What does that got to do with anything? Why he didn't get it off whenever Armstead went out on Sunday? Why he didn't get it out? Because the pressure got there before 2.5 seconds, and it was right in his face, in his line of sight. So I think that we're going to shift into an RPO team, personally, and you saw a lot of RPO in this game we just played, even with them, but I think we're going to be even more heavy RPO, short, intermediate. You'll have a lot of max protect if we want to take a shot downfield, 2-man routes. These are the things that we'll pretty much deal with. Let's see what Mike McDaniel can do. This is where Mike McDaniel has to be able to adjust, because if we go looking like trash over the next 3 games because Mike McDaniels don't know how to figure out without Armstead what to do, then Mike McDaniel's not a good coach. Then you clearly are just living off of talent. You are clearly living off of Tyreek, Armstead, Connor Williams, and talent. If you can't figure out a way to get this team to look comparable in the next 3 weeks, in those 3 games, in the next 6 games, honestly, but if you can't get this team to look comparable and win some games, you're going to be exposed. You're going to be exposed. It's going to say you're not a great coach. You just got great talent, and they're carrying you. And that's the reality. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. And let me ask y'all, do you agree with that statement? Yes or no? Do you agree with that statement? Yes or no? Simple answer. Yes or no? I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. Or am I just tripping? Stop. No. Yep. Yes. No. 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 Can you play? I don't know. No. Yes. Yes. Nah. Yes. I agree 100%. No. Yes. No. Yeah. No. So it's a little like it's split right down the middle. So you mean to tell me if we go 0-3 in the next games and the O-line look like trash, that's not a reflection of Mike McDaniel? You mean to tell me if we go back to looking like the team we had with Flores, that's not a reflection of Mike McDaniel? Because Flores didn't have those guys. Flores ain't have no Tyreek, Mike, and Armstead and stuff. Y'all killing me. I can't believe y'all saying no. That's not a reflection of Mike McDaniel. So if that's the case, then what do we even? I mean, come on. If we're down 3 starters on O-line, what do you mean? First of all, we're not down 3 starters. Austin Jackson ain't considered a starter to me anymore. His replacement was playing better than him anyway. You upgraded by being down Austin Jackson. Let's get that straight now. He was still garbage yesterday. TD got no faith in the Dolphins. Well, that's a blatant lie. I just said starting the stream with Armstead out, I'm not going to rule out that we could still have success, but it's going to hinge on Mike McDaniel. And I'm going to believe that he's going to figure it out. This is where his genius has to show. So where is that? How does that equate to not having faith? That's having faith. I believe that the genius of Mike McDaniel will play out in this situation. And if it doesn't, it's a reflection of him. This is a moment of me believing in Mike McDaniel. I believe that he will create a situation in the system, and it ain't got to be pretty, but we get these W's. But I'm sorry, if we can't get these W's and we look trash, then who in the heck did he develop on this team? And that's another thing we need to honestly start have a conversation about that we keep glancing over. Forget the big name acquisitions. Who in the heck have we developed to be a better player? And the only person that we could possibly make an argument about is Tua Tagovailoa. But how is he going to look without Armstead? If he reverts back to being the same him, then we can't say that Mike McDaniel developed him. It's always just been talent that he needs around him if that happens. I will say this as a Dolphin fan. If you are a Dolphin fan, you should be more excited than anything about this weekend's game. And it may not be for the reason that the same reason as me. See, this one game is so important on so many levels. Number one, you're going up against a good defense. Let's see if you're a real offense. Or were you living off of these bottom feeder teams? Some could argue Tua's best game from the eye test was the Lions. I ain't talking about a fourth quarter miracle in Baltimore. I'm talking about from start to finish. Some could argue the eye test, his best game where he just looked unstoppable was the Lions. But then I'm like, what can I take from that if Mike White put up more yards than Tua versus the Lions, same touchdowns, and didn't even play the fourth quarter? Didn't even play the fourth quarter. Mike White, more yards, same 3 touchdowns, no picks, and didn't even play the fourth quarter. But once again, that's why you run into games like this. I'm sorry, the Bears. Excuse me, the Bears. That's who I meant to say, the Bears. Because we actually struggled the first quarter of the Lions game. That's why we got down 14-0. That's why we got down 14-0 versus the Lions. So I actually meant the Bears. And Mike White didn't even play the fourth quarter. And this is what I be talking about. That's why this game is so beneficial, because you actually get a real defense and you get to say, let me see what my guy's going to do. And I just got off the phone having a conversation. Man, if Tua could play at a high level in this next game like he did in some of these previous games, it's going to be hard for anybody to deny that he is literally an upper tier quarterback. It's the truth. It's going to be hard for anybody to deny the fact that he is an upper tier quarterback. If he could play at a high level in this game, this is a huge game for Tua. A huge game for Tua. TD, we just signed an O-lineman. Yeah, because you got a gap. But what that mean? I mean, anybody available right now that was available, think about it. If you ain't playing football right now and you were available to be signed, it's going to be a major drop-off from Armstead. This Saturday, I'm so excited because Tua has an opportunity for me personally to knock my defenses down or make me create a double barrier, build a wall, whatever, however you want to call it. This game right here, y'all remember last year when I told y'all the Tennessee game? This is that game right here where he has an opportunity for me to remove that fence that I have in front of him and me that's sitting right between us, and me believing that he can be a long-term solution for our organization, the Miami Dolphins. This game right here. Now, I don't want to move goalposts on my own thought process. Truth be told, this next 3 games is important. But if you absolutely ball out and shred that team apart and just do what you've done against the scrubs, it's undeniable. This is a real defense. TD, you say this every week and you're a lie. Why would I say something like that against the Lions, the worst defense in the NFL? Why would I say something like that versus the Bears? Like, stop saying I say that every week. I told y'all 5 weeks ago we about to go on a 5-game win streak. Everybody going to be like, oh, we got a franchise quarterback. I told y'all that. If you want to talk about what I say, go back 5 weeks ago. Y'all tell me in the comment section, right or wrong. 5 weeks ago, I said we about to go on a 5-game win streak. Everybody going to be going crazy, feeling like we got the best thing ever, and our quarterback is a franchise quarterback. Everybody going to get stats. Everybody going to eat. And then we run into that last 6. That's when it's going to matter. That's what I've been saying. I don't say, no, this is the game he can prove it every week. I say this is the game he can continue to move towards that. And everybody in the comment section is answering that 1,000%. I've been very consistent in my narrative. People try to skew my narrative to make me the biggest hater out there. I've embraced it. It's okay, though. I've embraced it. And I'm going to talk about that game and what I think about this game coming up. But this is the number one defense. This is your Tennessee. This is your redemption. And again, that don't mean his long term is going to be great, but I promise you, you come out there and you look like a really good coach. You ain't got to be elite. You ain't got to be great, but you come out there and you look like a really good quarterback. Y'all know my scale: elite, great, really good, good. You come out there and you look like a really good quarterback. You ain't got to be elite. You ain't got to be great. I'm going to keep saying that. But you come out there and you look like a really good quarterback and you lead your team to victory versus San Francisco, where you're out there killing them bums. Not no defense putting up 25. You out there killing them bums like you did the Lions, the Bears, Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my. You do that, I'm telling y'all now, that is the number one defense. Who gonna stop us? That's why it's so important for me. If Tua come out there and win this game and he balls out, who in the heck in the NFL is gonna stop us? That means we got a top flight offense that can run through the number one defense. Who's gonna stop us? Now we all should be talking Super Bowl. Now we all should be talking Super Bowl if that happened. That's why this is so important to me. With or without Armstead. Can that have an impact? Yes, it can. No Armstead could impact Tua's play in a negative way. I recognize that. I've always recognized that. Without stuff around you, it could impact your play, but you still can't be one of the contributors to the downfall. What about Buffalo, TD? No, I get that. So let me put that in the context. Remember, I said the next three are what's important. But I'm talking about me personally. I could actually believe in Tua if he go in there and do his thing. I saw enough against the scrubs. See, trash quarterbacks struggle against scrubs too. Tua struggled against scrubs for 2 years. So for that, he ain't never going to be the guy. He has done exactly what he is supposed to do against the scrubs this year. Does that give him the nod and make it official? No, but that's a step in the right direction. That's a step in the right direction. But this game right here, against the number one defense, come show up and show out, man. This is the opportunity, man. It's almost like I'm bleeding inside, pleading. Just do it. I'm tired of not believing in you. But I'm not going to stop not believing until you give me something to prove otherwise. You know how, people keep moving the goalposts. Well, at some point, this is what people need to understand about this notion of moving the goalposts. At some point, you can't move it no more. Allow it to continue to be moved. Like, people get mad at this notion of a goalpost being moved, right? You should be happy if a goalpost get moved, because it's his job to keep on making them push it back, and now he gonna look at him and be like, you can't go no more further. And then without a shadow of a doubt, what can anybody say? You got a guaranteed guy. I'm not interested in these spurt moment guys. Jared Goff did this crap in 2018. And it took 5 years for him to return back to looking even close to it. He ain't what he was in 2018, but he playing good football right now. Tannehill did this crap in 2019 and 2020. 2019 was only 12 games. He was number one, and just like Tua, QBR, PFF, everything. He was the number one quarterback finishing the season. PFF and all. People don't even believe me when I say that. Ryan Tannehill, go look it up. And then in 2020, He backed it up by being top 7 in almost every category. But still, look at what it ended up being. And don't get me wrong, even like last year wasn't great because that O-line got hurt and all of that. This year, he's playing solid. But again, you got who you got. You got who you got. So I've seen spurts before. I've seen moments of greatness. Somebody said this dude comparing an MVP candidate to backup. Dead. They were freaking talking about Ryan Tannehill as an MVP in 2019, but then they said he shouldn't qualify because he missed 5 games. He didn't play the first 5 that Mariota played. He was number 1 in every category. I know y'all don't want to hear that. He was one of the freaking candidates they were talking about. Talk about dead. Some of y'all are quick to ignore facts because it don't fit your narrative. And I know you don't want to believe that, especially with Ryan Tannehill. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't freaking believe it. I still don't believe it. I still don't believe it. Somebody said Tanny ain't never been an MVP candidate on his own team. Derrick Henry was one of the leading candidates in the NFL that year too. And that was another nod on Tannehill, was like, yeah, but he got Derrick Henry. They were talking about he's playing some of the best football any quarterback's ever played. Why isn't he a candidate? They were like, he got Derrick Henry and he didn't play the first 5. He need a larger sample size. Tannehill never been doing what Tua doing. Stop it. You're a lie. Yes, he has. That's what y'all don't realize. Some of his numbers were even higher at one point in 2019. In 2019, some of his numbers were even higher in 2019 during the season. But you got to wait for the season to be over because these next 6 games, let's see where it ends up in the total stat category. Because what Tua can't afford to do is be leading the league and number 1 all his time. And then the last 6 games of the season, he dropped to 9, 10, 11. Proof. Man, look it up. I've already proved this a million times. I did a stream 2 weeks ago proving this. Look it up, Tannehill stuff from 2019. I showed everybody on here. Number 1 ranked in multiple categories. I've been already proved this. Go back 2 weeks ago and look for the stream. We've already done this. I was making the point that I've seen it with Jared Goff. I've seen it with Tannehill. Some of these people in this comment section know what I'm talking about. I'm not lying to you. Tired of having to pull up multiple times because y'all don't believe it. You got eyes. You got eyes. All right, Jose said, bro, next week we'll be talking about what a fluke Mike White was and how Tua has proven he is the guy. Now, that's the ideal situation, Jose. Mike White being a fluke is definitely an ideal situation because that team with a quarterback is dangerous, the Jets. And Tua being the guy, that's all we ever wanted. We have come to moments like this in the past. We have come to moments like this in the past. The first time we came to a moment like this, it was against who was it against his rookie year? All we had to do was win that game and we get in the playoffs. It was Buffalo. We were saying, yeah, but the games we won is against scrubs and all this and that. Tua ain't looking great. Well, if he can win this game, we'll believe. What happened? Last year, same situation. We go on a win streak led by the defense, only giving up 11 points a game. And then we say if Tua can win this Tennessee game and play well, he's the guy. Embarrassing. Just embarrassment. And here we are again. And again, this ain't the national people. This is just me. And they don't have to mean anything to you. Let's make sure we get that straight. I'm not the end all be, and I think y'all know that very well. This is just my take because I'm very critical of Tua because I want him to be great. but he has failed me several times in the biggest moments where I've needed him to show it. And until he has that moment where he gets over the hump in those big moments, I won't show it because he doesn't deserve it. Now, here we are, a third year in a third chance. This game right here, I'm naming it. Go out there and put up a great performance. Let me take great away. Really good performance. You ain't got to be great. Just really good. Right under great. And I will believe in Tua Tagovailoa. I will believe that this kid is good enough, and then I'll start looking at the rest of the team like we need to surefire that because they're not going to ruin this for him and the team. We need to get better at that. This is the third time in 3 years that we're coming up to this moment. The third time we're coming up to this moment. The number one defense played mistake-free football, don't turn the ball over, and go out there and move the ball and help us get some points on the board. You ain't got to score all the touchdowns. Did you drive us down there when we ran it in? I ain't asking him to be 350 yards and 4 touchdowns and no picks. I'm not asking that at all. At all. This is another opportunity for him. What will happen, ladies and gentlemen? What will happen? Let me know in the comment section. Does Tua rise to the occasion? Or does he do what he did the last 2 years and fall right on his face? Which one? Put it in the comment section. I want to hear from y'all. What do y'all believe? What do y'all believe? And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm rooting for him this game. I'm rooting for him to go out there and tear him up because if he tear him up, nobody can stop us. What if we win a Super Bowl? Like, for real? What if we win a freaking Super Bowl? Like, real talk. Like, oh, my God, we actually won a Super Bowl. We won. We won. We actually won. We won. We won a Super Bowl. At least everybody should be able to believe that we can if you go out there and rip up the number one defense. Because now we know we can keep up with anybody. Because nobody can stop our offense. And now we can compete with anybody, even in a shootout. And this ain't supposed to be a shootout. This might be a low-scoring game. I don't know. But go out there, get this W, and look good doing it. Like Patrick Mahomes did when he put up 40. I ain't asked you to put up 40. I'm just saying, go look good doing what you do. You can listen to these people around here all you want trying to make it seem like he already proved something. But did he prove anything if he go out there for the next 3 weeks and look like a bum? No. This is why these moments come up. This is why somebody that's objective like me that literally give him credit for when he plays well, but also put context behind it and tell you when the moment he can really show off. And we've reached that moment. San Francisco 49ers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go do it to him. Now, if he don't play great and he look like a bum, it ain't the end of the world. It don't mean that he still ain't got a chance to become the dude. But now the goalpost done moved again, and I ain't moving it, he is. Now it's a case of you were trash versus them. Man, you got to be great in both of these games now, the Chargers and Buffalo. Then I might believe. Might. And I don't even know if I'm strong about that. Because I told people this too. If the Dolphins go out here and lose the next 3 games and Tua look bad, but then he killed the trash Green Bay Packers and he beat the Jets and he beat New England like we always do, they're going to be right back after these 3 trash games talking about, oh, we made the playoffs, so is the guy. This is his opportunity on Saturday. This is the opportunity. I say Saturday, Sunday. This is his opportunity. Every team is dealing with injuries on the O-line. We knew Armstead was injury prone when we signed him. There is no excuse for the season to unravel because we lost him. Next man up, adjust and adapt. I agree. And if we don't, that's on Mike McDaniel. Let me help y'all understand something. If Tua doesn't play well the next 3 weeks without Armstead and he looked trash or something like that, right? I ain't blaming him primarily. We already know when O-line trash what Tua look like. It ain't nothing new. Some of y'all want to act shocked. Y'all want to act like he just going to break through bad O-line play all of a sudden. This man ain't never played great football with a bad O-line. Ain't ever. Lucky him, most of his career, most of his life, he's had greatness around him. But he is never, we already know what he is without it. I'm not going to be mad at him because he played like trash. I mean, I'm going to bring up the fact he played like trash, but it ain't no surprise for me. It's solely on Mike McDaniel. You got to create a system and a situation that can protect him and allow him to be his best version the next 3 weeks. That is on Mike McDaniel, not Tua. We already know what Tua is without these things. We know what Tua is without Tyreek. We know what Tua is without Armstead. So now you need the system, because this is why we brought a new coach in, somebody that even if they didn't have what Flores had, they're able to figure out a way to still make it happen. 201 games with the bad O-line. That's a lot of defense won games with a bad O-line. When your defense ain't giving up more than 11 points a game, we're not going to go back and forth on that. We're not going to debate that. It's a waste of my time. It's a fact. We've showed the data too many times. 7-game win streak, defense held other teams to 12.6 points or something like that on average. And the defense was actually scoring as well. So it's on Mike McDaniel. You can't be calling somebody a genius and a great coach when he living off talent, and when that talent is stripped, you do no better or even worse than your predecessor. That's unacceptable. Am I tripping? You get all this talent in and you look great as a unit. Everybody call you a genius. You take all that talent away, you look the same or worse than your predecessor. Then what was the point here? What was the point? So I'm telling y'all, this game ain't on Tua. It's on Mike McDaniel. It's on Mike McDaniel. He got to have us playing well and have us in a situation where we're playing our best football and you can see the execution happening. And Armstead, who? That's the real goal. Had his team play at a level that at the end of the game, all of us can say, Armstead, who? Armstead, who? If we could say Armstead, who? Mike McDaniel's a freaking genius. Tua's the guy. Everything. Oh, we winning a Super Bowl. Eric Sanchez said, TD, love your show, man. I don't agree with you sometimes, but like your stances. I am a longtime Dolphin fan since 1985. That's the year I was born, bro. So been through ups and downs, and I am behind Tua all the way. He is not Scott Mitchell. You know what, man? Eric, your message means a lot to me. And I got to say this to a lot of people that say these things to me real quick. The reason why that message meant a lot to me, because I have to be honest with you. Over the last 3 years, you know, I'm a very critical person. I'm a very analytical person, and I'm very observative. And I've been looking at the war on information. People don't understand the war that's going on with information on social media and everything. There's a lot of censorship that's happening that basically can silence truth if necessary, which is the most dangerous thing in the world. And this is why I'm personally a believer. Nobody should be silenced, even if they're spewing false stuff, because at the end of the day, sometimes what people say is false is objective. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why I bring that up with your comment is I respect people so much that can disagree with someone, still respect them, and move on about their life and congregate with them. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're able to, you don't listen, you don't agree with all my takes, but you respect them. And if you don't disagree, it doesn't cause you to hate me. And I think that's so important in this world. TD, you sound like Elon Musk. I should, because I've been paying attention to that situation too. I should sound like him. And he has some bias in himself too, but at the same token, that don't make him wrong. I should sound like him. You cannot silence people. You cannot silence people. Just imagine if it happened to you and you knew 1,000% what you were saying were right, but your, let's say, enemies, let's just use that word so you'll get the point. They're just literally saying what he's saying is false and we're just going to mute him of everything. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Imagine me having the billions that Elon Musk have, right? This is a perfect example. Watch this. Imagine me having hundreds of billions of dollars, right? And I came in and I bought the Dolphins for $20 billion. I just, bossed up. Hey, you're going to sell it for $7 billion, so here come 20 to guarantee I get it, right? I get in here and tomorrow I order everybody to bench Tua and put in Skylar Thompson. And anybody who speaks out on the difference, I just mute them. I don't let any of their comments get out. I'm going to go on social media and blast you. Well, you know what? I own Twitter, so I'm going to hush you. I own Instagram, so I'm going to silence you, spreading fake news. Matter of fact, I could go as far as to say Tua committed a crime last week, and there ain't no evidence of this crime happening, and that's why I'm benching him. But as soon as somebody writes an article on the Sun Sentinel trying to say that this is false, I own the Sun Sentinel. No, they're spreading false information. I banned them. I shut them off of Twitter. I silence every bit of truth. And guess what that does? It makes people believe me because there is no opposition. There is no opposition to my lie. If there is no opposition to a lie, the general masses will believe it because the general person that's out here working a 9 to 5, busting they behind, ain't got time to do the research. And there are people in this world that are preying on the fact that you are tired in life, so you ain't going to do the research. They just going to believe you. They're just going to believe you. A specific person can say something on social media right now. If they have a certain status, 90%, and it could be false. They could literally do this test right now. 90% of the people would believe them without hesitation. And let 10% be in there saying this is false because of this. All they got to do is say, oh, this person is lying. Don't spew that negativity, or you're being racist, or you're being classist, or you're being sexist, or you're being homophobic, or you're being blah, blah, blah. And as soon as they throw those words out, that community piles on to that person. Now they really look wrong. That's what's happening out here. Information networks are being weaponized. And this is why I do what I do on Twitter. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's my own little personal, what's the word I want to use? Wow, it's rare that I ain't got a word. I know the word, but I don't remember it. So y'all help me out, all y'all educated people. What's that word you want to use when it's your evil side? You're being, is it deviant or see, it ain't registering for me right now. And now I'm gonna be studying it tonight to make sure I never make this mistake again. That's just how my brain works. What's that word? Your evil side, that side that want to kick back at people and show how ridiculous they are and take that. What's that? Vendetta, maybe. I guess vendetta. Y'all get my point because I think I just described it enough. Devious, yeah. Twitter, I'm devious TD on Twitter. That's what I am on Twitter. Now I know what a narcissist is. That's not a narcissist. I'm deviant TD on Twitter. Vindictive. That's what I am on Twitter. You can't sit here and be respectful enough to respect somebody's opinion. If I have an opinion that you don't agree with, tell me you don't agree. But the stuff they do on Twitter, the things they call you, your children, your spouse, and your family, and the threats that they make towards you, it's a breeding ground. And I'm like, people say I should be on social media more. Well, if I'm going to be on social media, I'm going to make sure that I aggravate the heck out of those people so they end up blocking me. And then finally, I'll have a healthy social media. And that's what I set out to do, especially in 2022. Every chance I get, I am going to make an opinion, even if it's outlandish, on Twitter. And the people who can't just sit there and laugh about it and be like, man, this guy's crazy or whatever, they are the problem. If they seriously get offended to where the words that come out of their mouth and the evilness come out of their mouth is what it is, they're the problem with society. They're the ones that's causing the division because they can't sit back and respect somebody else's opinion or mute the person, block the person, ignore the person. You see how easy that is? Like, and I have it on the front of my Twitter page. You never have to, on the front of my Twitter page, it says you never have to hear another word that I ever say if you just block me. It's that easy. It's on the front of my Twitter page. So these people that get all in their feelings and they get mad on Twitter, they got what they deserve it. They need a dose of this. And people be on there arguing with him. Y'all don't watch his show. It's night and day. Nah, don't tell them nothing. They need somebody to really get under their skin because that's emotions. Those people operate off of emotions. That is a form of weakness if words are truly impacting you that much. Like I said, and I know this may sound harsh to some people. Yeah, but everybody, you can't say that. Nah, I'm sorry. The way I was raised up, I'm sorry. That's weakness. And maybe how you were raised up, it's not. But I'm sorry. I got to call it how I see it. It's how I was raised. It's the person I am, who I am. That is straight up weakness. Fear. Weakness and fear. All in your feelings, especially about another person. Ain't even you. All in your opinion, in your feelings about another person. This is why I told y'all last week. They need to bring that junk back to school. They need to say that every morning after the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your hand on your heart, Pledge of Allegiance, say the Pledge of Allegiance. And right after that, students, repeat after me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Y'all 80s babies, just like me, y'all know what I'm talking about. All y'all 80 babies, just like me, know exactly what I'm talking about. It was during the era of the war on drugs. Just say no. And sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Because somewhere in the fray, I know it was a bunch of crap to always say it, but maybe it did work for us. We don't get all in our feelings over words. But the hate and the threats and things of that nature and the disrespect, ain't nobody have to stand for that. So, and I know those are words too, but at the same token, some of those words actually can become into action. And when it gets negative, no, you're going to feel every bit of me on Twitter. Man, this guy again, why are you on that? Stop crying. You soft crying. So I'm sorry. Everybody that be on there crying about what I say, they are exactly who I be talking about. I ain't the most popular person, but that's why whoever put that comment that I read 10 minutes ago before I went on this rant, see, I appreciate people like you. And that's why when you put on there, you know, I've been a fan since 85. Yeah, I was born in 85. See, it's people like you that can help the world continue to move on. We out here being distracted by every little issue that don't even matter. We out here arguing as a human society about everything that leads to feelings. Like, God, dog, if I don't like you because you this and you don't like me because I'm that, it is what it is. Gosh, why we the problem is we living for other people instead of ourselves and our families. Live for yourself and your family. And if you are a person of faith, God above all. I hear that's the problem. We living for everybody else and how we look and how we sound and what people, and I don't mean to call this out, but we be having people in this community, and I'm sorry, I mean, I'm going to bring it up. We be having people in this community that come to me. TD, can you talk to this creator? You know, it may be a small creator, 50 subs or somebody like that, but they're a small creator. They're not, you know, they're down right now because they came at them on Twitter and stuff like that. Yeah, I can speak to them, but it ain't me. It ain't me. Our best I can do is tell, bro, why is you worrying about what other people think about you? They don't pay your bills. Why are you in your feelings to where they got you with thoughts in your head? Like your life is more valuable. Your life to you should be more valuable than their life to you. Like, I'm sorry, flight or flight. We all have it innately in us. My life is going when the rubber meet the road, people are going to defend their life with everything they got until the last second. But that's been reversed. We care so much about others that we make their life more important than our own, and we get in our feeling, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Nah, TD, some have made it so personal. Yeah, but they only make it personal because it hit them. Somewhere in that thing, see, I don't mean to say this, and yeah, my favorite rapper did say this, and it wasn't in this context, but there's a point. There's a point to this. Me too, January 9th, 1985, January 12th, 85, Capricorns, baby. Woo, I see, baby. Listen, this is powerful to me. And once you realize this and stop making excuses for this, you'll get it. And again, my favorite rapper said this, and it was a different context. He was using it in a bad one, but it's so true when you think of the bigger picture. This thing right up in here, that heart, he said the heart was meant to break. The heart was meant to break. Really let that sink in. The bigger thought process behind that. Because what does it do? The only time you recognize what's in there typically is when it's broke, when it hurts. You don't see people walking around, I feel my heart right now. I got heart. No, they reckon, I mean, it hurt my heart. The only thing you mention when you speak of your heart typically is the hurt. So if that's the case, then stop making decisions based off of it. Like, everybody thinking with this and not this. Thinking with that beat instead of that. Stop thinking. Stop making the decisions in your life based off of emotions, how you feel. I gotta go with my feeling, my gut, man. What are the facts? Then, if you want to use how you feel, make sure them facts are laid out first. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know about that, TD. Hey, you ain't got to know about it. I ain't trying to force what I'm saying on anybody. That's another thing. I ain't trying to force what I'm saying on anybody. I'm just delivering what I believe. Like I always tell y'all, what I say don't make it the end all be. TD said it. You better listen. I don't know. I'm just going off of my life and my experience. We all got different experiences. If I call it soft, you may look at it a whole different play, a whole different way. And I'm not in. And remember, see, this is where the self-control comes in. I ain't knocking your disbelief in what I'm saying. That's your life. But sit back and look at the outcomes. That's how you can always judge whatever's going on out here. I saw it. I got you. What you believe and what you don't believe. What you believe and what you don't believe. You always, my bad, y'all. You always judge it based off of the results. And thinking with your heart, what has it gotten people out here? Thinking with your head, it's winning. But, and you know, I'm a man of faith. And Jeremiah 17th, verse 9. I am a man of faith. And could I be better in my faith? Absolutely. God ain't done me yet. He working on me. I'm trying to be better and better. I live a normal life. I believe that Jesus died for my sins. I believe in God's mercy and grace. And whatever you believe in, I don't knock what you believe in. Good for you. So I ain't got no problem with nobody and what they believe in. But I know the word that I believe in, Jeremiah 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? That's all I need to hear. The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? If my word even the freaking Bible is telling you how deceitful your heart is. But people follow that more than anything. Look at the results. All these people out here operating off of their emotions. What are the results? What are the results in their life? That's how you gauge it. That's how you know. It's that simple. Do you have faith in Tua? Not at all. I don't have faith in no man. I have faith in no man. And man being woman or male, female or male. I have no faith in no man. Sorry. The only thing that requires faith is my religion. It's the only thing. But I know what you meant. Do I believe in him? Do I have faith that he can be the guy? My stance has been clear from day one. Tua at best will always be good enough to not be good enough. And that's the most scariest thing. That's the scariest thing, man. Like, it's like having that quarterback who can win 10, 11 regular season games and get you in the playoffs every year. It's like having Tannehill last year every year. Like Tennessee, they keep going to the playoffs under Tannehill, but look at what he do in the playoffs. Dang, man, he looked good in the regular season. He doing great things in the regular season. That's the worst quarterback they ever have. That is the worst quarterback they ever have. Look at why Tennessee lost last week. Tannehill put up almost 300 yards, but they held Derrick Henry to 34 yards or something like that. 17 carries for like 30 yards or something like that. And they lost. And that's what I'm scared of with Tua. He's going to, at his best, be good enough to not be good enough, and you can only see that in the biggest moments. He's going to wow you so much in the regular season that you don't have no choice but to keep believing. It's the Tony Romo effect. Go look at Tony Romo every season. Good quarterback. Every time you got in that playoffs or the last game to get you in, he Romo'd. And that don't make me right. That don't make me right. That don't make my opinion of what I think Tua is going to be long-term, it don't make me right. And that's what I keep stressing to people. It don't make me right. I want to be wrong because if I'm wrong, we win in the Super Bowl. Let's go Tua. But what's wrong with me evaluating all his college film, looking at his strengths, looking at his cons, pros and cons, and coming up with a conclusion? I see something there. But here's the issue, and in the NFL, at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to be sufficient enough. That was my conclusion. This is my stamp conclusion. Let's see what happens in his career. And until he does absolutely what he needs to do for me to say, you know what, my conclusion was absolutely wrong. Look at what he ended up becoming. Until that happens, my thought process is my thought process. If I had that same thought process about Tony Romo, he can do this, he can do that, but at the end of the day, he ain't going to be the guy long term. It's just going to be a whole bunch of seasons that you probably can win, but you ain't going to have a Super Bowl team. If I said that about Tony Romo and what Tony Romo did every year in the regular season, they would have killed me then too. They would have said, bro, you hate on Romo. Romo put up numbers. Romo's this. Romo's a good quarterback. What are you talking about? Yeah, but he's going to always be good enough to not be good enough. And what was Romo at the end of the day? Good enough to not be good enough. So I have my opinion. But this is the third time that I'm literally showing y'all on a silver platter. This is the game right here. Tua got an opportunity to wipe out my old opinion, and I actually will believe in him. The third time. Go play great against your boy. Jimmy G. Go play to get great against San Francisco. Then I believe nobody can beat us. If Tua can play like that against the number one defense, then let's roll. Shut all the doubts up. Shut them up. Yeah, but I still don't think. And he just beat the number one defense. Who's going to do better? I don't care. Yeah, he probably still may be inconsistent in this and inconsistent in that. All I know is he's enough now. Ain't nobody perfect. Everybody got their flaws. He'll be enough. He will be enough. Somebody said, TDPHINSTALK, you were right about Russell Wilson. You know what? I'm glad you brought it up right now because I wasn't thinking about it. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When I started this channel 5 freaking years ago, y'all, not y'all, but y'all know when I say y'all, majority of people on this channel, once again, you crazy with your crazy takes and you ridiculous. I said, listen, man, Seattle is an idiot. Don't pay Russell Wilson. With the Legion of Boom and that run game and that O-line, man, these average quarterbacks can do what Russ doing. I promise you. These average quarterbacks just ain't got what he got. Do not pay that man. What you just supposed to let him walk? Yes. What you gonna pay him could make the team even better. Trust me. Look at where he was drafted. Look at where he was drafted. I know it looked like now, oh, Russ, he was a first-round talent. He just got drafted later. No. I've been telling y'all from day one. He is a straight product of what was around him. Not knocking him. He did his job, did what he was supposed to do. But a lot of these guys can do that. There's some quarterbacks that never will have that opportunity in the NFL. Sometimes it just take a little luck in the type of situation you fall into. Real talk. Sometimes it just takes that luck. How you fall into the league and what the scenario is around you. There are a lot of quarterbacks that could have been great that never got a chance to be because of the situation they came in. There are a lot of quarterbacks that ended up great that probably wouldn't have, but they lucky they came in the situation they did. And I said, don't pay Russ. You're going to waste. Y'all going to be good enough to go to the playoffs every year and get bounced in the first or second round. They never even got to the second. They got bounced in the first every year, and 1 year missed it. And then, what did I say when his contract came up 3 years later for renegotiation? Don't restructure his deal. And I thought they saw the light. I said, ooh, they playing this cat and mouse game. They playing chicken. They say they don't want to re-sign him. They shopping him in a trade. I said, finally, they wising up. And at the last minute, his agent threatened him. If you don't restructure the deal on an extension now, we're not going to give you a discount later. They got more aggressive trying to trade him. Come on, somebody give me a good offer. We can't just take peanuts, please. And a week later, the day of the deadline where they told him if we ain't got a deal in place by this day, you ain't going to get a discount when he come up in that contract up. On that very day, they traded 2 of their best defensive players again and re-signed Russ again. Re-signed Russ again. I said, Lord, oh my God, they re-signed this man twice. And everybody was still yelling, what are they supposed to do? They just need to get better. You can't get better when you playing quarterbacks like that. Not when the quarterback ain't going to carry your team and make up the difference for the money they taking. Russell Wilson ain't never been a carrier. He just looked real nice and polished with a nice running game and a great defense that held you down to 12 points a game. Perfect situation for him. Perfect situation. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. He took advantage and he slung the rock. He did what he was supposed to do. But there's a lot of guys that don't look good in this league could do that in that situation. It's too easy. It's too easy. And that's why when I look at this Tua situation, I ain't taking nothing from him. But now you got San Francisco in front of you. Go show him you ain't no Russell Wilson. That you better. It's that simple. This is what I be talking about. And they end up trading Russell Wilson to Denver. And look, Denver got one of the best defenses in the NFL, y'all. There was no better defense in the NFL going into week 8. Denver, why you got Lyman out here yelling at the star quarterback now? When your defense is sitting out here handing you games on a platter. We only gave up 10 points. Come on. And you can't win games as a quarterback? Man, and this is where I tell y'all stuff like Herbert and all of that with the defense. If Herbert was on Denver, they'd probably have 10 wins right now. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes, they'd be undefeated because he got a few weapons over there too. It's ridiculous. Then you got a freaking Geno Smith over there, and Pete Carroll, like, it would never rust. If Geno Smith ain't proof, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm sitting there arguing with somebody. I'm like, Geno a bum. He in a system. No, Geno just great. Nah, you don't get great after 10 years. Will some guys take time? No, but not 10. Don't just wake up and you great after 10 years. No, this system is the luck that you wish you had early in your career. This system is what you wish you came into this league into. And you would have been one of the top quarterbacks for years to come. And nobody would have knew better. Nobody would have knew better. This is why I tell y'all, some of these quarterbacks are not as good as they seem, and some of them are not as bad as they seem. Some now. Some is just clear. Some is just clear, okay? Like Tua, for instance. Tua ain't as bad as it seemed. But that still don't mean he's going to be that dude. But hopefully he is. Let's find out. This week is a big part of that. But he definitely ain't the bum that I saw the last 2 years. Bums don't do what he do against trash teams. He at least showed up and did his job against some trash teams. Bums don't even do that. Zach Wilson, bum. Zach Wilson, the bum. Too bad, TD. Stop lying. Well, we don't know. I know one thing. He ain't trash. He ain't no bum. He ain't below average. You can't speak that of him anymore. You can't speak that of him anymore. And I hope it stays that way. Name on one QB that's good that looks trash. Honestly, we already know whether you're good or not unless you're on a rookie deal. So you can kill me for this all you want to, but real talk, I actually followed this kid and been studying him. Mike White is actually a good quarterback. I know the Mike White hype, and he's going to have games where he looks absolutely trash, but he's actually a good quarterback. Skylar Thompson is actually a good quarterback. Go look at how he played in college. Didn't have much around him, but, the way that he played in a pro system and things like that, those are good quarterbacks that can actually be starters in this NFL. You put them in a Russell Wilson rookie situation, these guys you would think were Herbert. You would think they were Brady's in a perfect situation. Yeah, we point out, but they got a historic run game. Yeah, they got the greatest O-line. Yeah, they got a defense. We'd point those things out, but they would look great. They would look great. They really would. But yeah, it's situational football. See, let me tell you something with quarterbacks too. I'm not really gung-ho on the top prospect quarterbacks. Most of the top prospect quarterbacks were on a team and they had everything around them. I love those quarterbacks who put up 20% less numbers than the big time team quarterbacks. 20% less numbers, but dang it, like it's like, let me just give you an example. I don't really study the college numbers, but let's just hypothetically say a quarterback at Alabama or a top team that got everything around them throw for 5,000 yards in a season, right? I don't know if that's good or not, but if it is, okay. Let's just say that's great. That's one of the greatest accomplishments, hypothetically, right? I want to see that quarterback, and that's a team full of 5 stars. I want to see that quarterback that's surrounded by 2-star players that put up 4,300. Them the ones that you really should be looking at. That's the biggest disparity in college football to the pros. That's the biggest issue, because if you went to high school, see, and this is the problem. If you're in middle school and you balling out, right? Say you on one of the best teams and you got the best receivers in middle school and you just, you got a great team and you ball out as a quarterback and you win a championship as a middle schooler. Now, in the way things work now, the way schooling works, now you, your parents, your dad, or whoever in your corner can go shop around high schools. Hey, I can move my son in this district. We want to play for your team because I know you're loaded. This high school is loaded with talent around it. But I could bring my son, who is the middle school champ. He got all the accolades. And that high school be like, if you can move him in this district, they're going to always want the best that they can get. At least they think it's the best. Now you got a high school player playing around the best again. So what do you think happens in college? You don't think that these quarterbacks in college are saying, man, I want an opportunity to go to the best team in college football because my odds of going to the NFL, even as a backup, are drastic. If I'm a quarterback at Alabama, I literally got one of the highest percentages of going to the NFL. Clemson, all of those teams. So that's part of the problem. These kids are going up a pipeline, always having everything around them, never faced adversity. But then when they walk into those rare games, like Tua, when he was in Alabama, the Clemson game, the LSU game, the rare big dog mano-a-mano, you about to go up against the best defense, them your worst performances. That's where you start making mistakes. But in our minds, well, one rough game and he still wasn't trash. He still put numbers up, but it was still his worst game. But we say, man, he done had 11 great games and he only struggled in 2 all year. I'm not going to sit there and say he ain't the guy. We get blown by the large sample size of greatness that we don't really fine-tooth comb those rough games. And what did I do into his evaluation? He plays 7 ranked teams. 7 ranked teams in his career. Some of y'all may not even know that. In his career, he only played 7 games against a ranked opponent. 7. Because I watched, and Vanderbilt was 2 of them, but they were lower ranked. They were like 23rd and 19 when they played them. So the other 5 were the real test, even though he threw his most picks versus Vanderbilt. I don't know why. He threw the most picks he ever threw versus Vanderbilt. But 7 ranked games, I went and I studied them. I'm not going to sit there and watch you playing my alma mater, Bethune-Cookman, and think that, oh my God, these 8 touchdowns and 700 yards in this game, man, look at the film. It was amazing. Why I'm going to look at that? I went and I watched I went and looked at film on the 7 games that he played against ranked opponents only. And that's how I came up with my conclusion about his strengths and his weaknesses. Just that simple. But yeah, anywho, Mostert versus Deebo real quick. I got to just bring that up real quick. Do y'all, okay, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm disappointed in Mostert. What did y'all think about that Mostert-Deebo situation? I'm actually disappointed in Mostert. Okay? If you don't know what happened, Mostert had an interview where he basically took shots indirectly. It wasn't directly, but it was indirectly at Jimmy G to praise Tua. And Deebo basically clapped back, telling him, bro, be real with yourself. You know you were taking shots at Jimmy G. Because Mostert tried to backtrack and say, no, I wasn't taking shots at Jimmy G or whatever, right? The reason why I'm disappointed in him, don't back down. It is what it is. Say how you feel and stand on it. And go out there and get this and help the team get ready to go show it. I just didn't like the backtrack. Now, he does say I was not taking shots at Jimmy G, but he took a shot at Jimmy G. I mean, we ain't 2 years old to believe this. This man literally said, now that I got a quarterback who could actually get me the ball. What in the heck does that mean? There's only one way you could read that. Now that I got a quarterback who could actually do that. What? Come on. You taking shots. Like, don't back down, bro. That was a clear shot. And that's why Deebo said, bro, stop, man, be honest with yourself, man. Like, he basically called him out. Don't be backtracking. You lying now. You trying to save face now. Say what you said. Keep it 100. That's what Deebo basically was telling him in so many words. And he just backtracking. That's not what I meant. I praised Jimmy G in the interview. I was just saying, no. That was a shot at Jimmy G. Anybody to say, now I got this that could do this. Then you're going to look at what you had in the past that couldn't. At least that's what the message is going to be. It's ridiculous to me. And I was just like, if you're going to put bulletin board material, stand on it. Don't backtrack. That made us look a little soft in that regards. Mostert look a little backtrackish and soft in that situation. Stand on it. You ain't got to backtrack. I mean, you said what you said. Ain't no other way you could have meant that. There ain't no other way you could have meant that. The 49ers carried Jimmy to the Super Bowl. You might be right, but stand on it. Stand on it. Don't be backtracking. And then you got called out by Deebo. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I hope we ain't give him unnecessary fuel. Man, Jimmy G better not come out and have his best day he ever had this season. Deebo better not go off. I don't think Deebo going to go off. I think this is the Christian McCaffrey game right here. I personally think that this is going to be the Christian McCaffrey game. I'm telling y'all, in my personal opinion, I think Christian McCaffrey is going to have some success in this game. But we got to do enough to be able to alleviate that. They're going to be honed in on Deebo in motion. They're going to be honed in on Ayuk. And we'll see. Because Ayuk's playing a lot better football. He's actually become their primary target now, believe it or not. Ayuk is their main target. And McCaffrey and Deebo just doing a little bit of everything else. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Y'all give me a second. I want to make sure I read all the super chats. I don't want people to feel like I'm being rude to them if they've show love with donating. Elon Musk for social media MVP and Tua for NFL MVP. Hey, I'm with it. Tell Tua to win to go play great football in this game, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna praise him. People can come all they want. No, I'll keep the same energy. No, I don't have to. It ain't nothing you can do to stop me. I've just been waiting on this moment right here, and hopefully for the third time, I ain't let down again. Please, Lord, don't let me be let down. TD, before the season, you said if you take out Russ 4 good seasons, he is mid. You right on that. I told, bro, everything he did worth of success was literally his rookie contract. And not only did he do it in his rookie contract, he was making lower round money. He wasn't making first round pick money. That team was loaded. That team, man, I ain't trying to be like, oh, I know it all. But when they come to these quarterbacks, they money and how it impacts the team and how good they really are, and can they make up for the difference when they do get their money? I've been pretty spot the freak on. The only problem that I have is you got to wait 5 years to see if I was right. And everybody can pile on and be like, this is an idiot, he wrong, and all this and that for 5 years straight. And then 5 years later, oh, I see it now. Nobody care that they see it now. They done moved on. That's part of the problem I be having. And I hope that ain't the case with Tua. I hope we don't realize 3 years from now, oh, Lord, we go get a quarterback. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I hope I ain't right about that situation, because I'm going to tell you, he done already did enough and created enough buzz to where they stuck with him, in my opinion. I don't care. Even if he struggled a little for the rest of the season, they stuck. Watson came rookie year and diced Seattle Legion of Boom. Yeah, well, Watson was one of the rare people that smoked that defense. I mean, and that was rare. That was rare. It don't happen often. It was an anomaly. And I get Watson his props on it. I mean, he smoked them. He did destroy that defense. But again, that was early in the season too, because Watson got hurt. I think that was the game right before he got hurt and he was out for the rest of the season. So it was a small sample size even with Watson. Sorry, y'all. I'm still searching through, making sure I ain't missed nobody's super chat. All right, I think I got everybody's super chat. Facts. That's why they don't want to pay Lamar. Thank you. But what did I say about Lamar 3 years ago? 2 years ago? What did I tell y'all about Lamar 2 years ago? Same thing with Russell Wilson. I told y'all about Lamar Jackson. I said, don't pay Lamar. Don't pay Lamar. You're going to be crazy if you do it. Because if this is the best this team is going to be with him not being paid, what you think is going to be without him being paid? You ain't going to never be able to have enough around him. And you know that this team is built off the staple of the defense. This team is clearly built off the identity is the defense, and you are not going to put all your eggs in one basket and having a high-powered offense with Lamar Jackson trying to act like he's Patrick Mahomes and have a trash defense. He will not keep up if that happens because he has been too inconsistent. He has a cannon, but he is inconsistent with his accuracy using that arm. It's not a bad quarterback. He can throw the rock, but he is inconsistent using it. You saw when he played us, even with that major collapse, Lamar Jackson also was a major contributor in why they lost. Now, don't get me wrong. He was a major contributor in why they went up big in the first place. But the reason they lost, we know the defense, but their defense was trash. But Lamar Jackson was also a major contributor. There were 3 third downs on 3 possessions in a row to end the game. And he overthrew all 3 of them from a wide open tight end. Nobody was around. Y'all remember that? Nobody was around. I'm like, oh, incomplete. Oh, my God. Like the tight end, like when the ball flew and they moved the camera, I was like, oh, my God, just wide open. And I was like, oh, he overthrew it. All right. He blew it. We shouldn't have won that game. That was an L. Even with the comeback, Lamar Jackson blew it 3 possessions in a row on a third down, wide open receiver, and just missed them. And that's why I tell y'all, this team has been very lucky in a lot of sense. Josh Allen, we've been very lucky. Josh Allen had the game winner right in his hand. He threw it in the dirt. The guy was wide open. Like, you can't dream of a easier 2-yard pass. We won. I ain't taking that from us, but truth be told, this team, if the other teams were actually executing, this team got 2 more losses from those 2 alone. Easy. They blew it. The best one was Josh Allen. If he blow anything, I love it. I love when he blow the game. This bum at the end of the game, wide open in the flat, and he threw it in the dirt. We could easily right now be a what is it? 6-5 team? Easily. Without batting an eye. Without thinking otherwise. We could easily be a 6-5 team. That's why I don't get all caught up in all of this stuff, y'all, the way y'all perceive the team right now. Now we about to go up against some good competition. Let's play great and cement who we truly are. We all had bad games, TD. I agree, but we've caught the lucky end of it. We've caught the lucky end of it. Fortunately, we caught the lucky end of it. I mean, look at the Lions game, too. I ain't think about that. The Lions, many of y'all don't know this, they only had 6 possessions in the whole game. They scored the first 4 possessions. The last 2 possessions, everybody was like, the defense finally did their job. No, sir. they had penalties that weren't even forced. Like, forced penalties, the defense caused you to do this or caused you to do that. They had 5 penalties that were unforced, and both last drives, they had a 30-yard situation. 1st and 30, 2nd and 30. Of their own doing. False starts and all of that crap. Their own doing. And we couldn't stop them the whole night. We ain't make a single stop. They scored on every drive into them last 2 where their penalties got the best of them. Unforced penalties. These ain't fit penalties. Well, he forced me to hold him because he beat me. No, they kept false starting. We were like, another penalty. Illegal formation. Like, these weren't forced penalties. They killed themselves too. That is 3 games where the other team literally just killed themselves. I didn't think that we would stop them one bit in that whole game at the halftime. But sure enough, the penalties got them, and they almost got the first on those penalties. But when you're 2nd and 30 and 1st and 30, now you can do more things. Now you can get them off the field and make them punt. And that's 3 games right there. We might even can talk about the Bears game. That pass interference at the end that we all can recognize was a pass interference. But I try to stay away from that game because they called one on us early in the game that I disagree with. TD cannot admit he was wrong about Tua. Well, the problem is, Glenn, you have to wait for the season to be over to determine how a player is or what he did. See, the games that Tua has played well so far this year, he can have just as many collapses in the second in these last 6. So I'm sitting here, I'm waiting to see what it all ends up being. And believe it or not, I actually need to say I was wrong about Tua. I need to. Some of y'all don't realize I want to say I was wrong about Tua so bad because I don't care about being wrong. Some of y'all live in that, like I told y'all earlier, that weak mental process where you care what other people think. I don't care. I had an opinion, it was wrong. Next. I don't care about being wrong. It doesn't make me lose sleep. It doesn't take a dime out of my pocket. It doesn't change anything in my life that if Tua balls out against San Francisco and I come out and I say, man, I was wrong about Tua Tagovailoa. He can definitely be our franchise quarterback. It doesn't bother me. Now, people coming to me, oh, you trash because you don't know nothing about football. I hear that every day now. You think that's going to bother me? It doesn't. And this is what some of y'all need to realize. Some of y'all stick around waiting. And let me tell y'all, some of y'all are just waiting on him to really solidify, man, he did now what can you say? Like if Tua lights it up on Sunday against San Francisco, soon as the game is over and I'm praising him and I'm giving him his due and I'm talking about our wrong, watch how many views we have. Watch how many views we have. Watch how many views we have. Watch how many people come over here. Watch how many people come over. Watch. So many. Flooding in. It's going to be some finalies. It's going to be some, no, you were wrong, keep the same energies. It's going to be some of everything. And I get to keep being me. But at least the real ones know I've been fair. I've been hard on him. Ain't no harder than his daddy, probably 10 times worse. I've been hard because I don't want to be fooled like Dolphin fans are so used to being fooled every year. Every year we got it. You get Ndamukong Suh, it's the year. We get Kenny Stills, this the year. We used to that as Dolphin fans. And I'm one of the only people in this community that put my foot down and said, I'm not getting fooled anymore. Go do it, then I'll give you your props and believe it. As it should be. It's called accountability with your team versus letting them run you raggedy and crazy for 20 years and getting gray hairs in the last 4 years because of them. No, I said I gotta stop. I put too much. This thing is meant to break, but man, boy, they keep breaking it. And I gotta stop that mess. See, that was the old fan in me, living off of emotion. No, I'm going off the facts. And I tell you what, he ball out against this team and he do his thing, then it is a fact that Tua Tagovailoa is having an amazing season and he is worthy of being a franchise quarterback, in my opinion, because he's already set the stage. See, if he had a whole bunch of Pittsburgh games, see, I don't forget about the Pittsburgh game and the Patriots game. I don't think he played well, but every quarterback have games they don't play well. I don't worry about that. I know them. But had he had two more of those, oh, he would have really been down in the dumpster of trash to me. But he didn't. I note that he had subpar games, but every quarterback does. But he's built enough of a repertoire this year and what he's done in his performances that now you've reached the moment once again. Go show everybody in San Francisco on the freaking road what time it is. You deserve every bit of respect in the world. Hell, look at the respect I gave this man in the Baltimore game. Oh, my doggone, I keep looking at that film like, see, man, I got away from myself. I should have never did that. I'm out here on my knees praising him and talking about, I'm sorry, and all that crazy stuff. For a week, I'm sorry. Because I knew it wouldn't end all be. But I've given him his due every time he's done that. That Baltimore game, I went in for Tua. I was blocking people for saying negative things about Tua. I was going in. I was going heavy for him. I was going super heavy for him, man. But at the end of the day, I'm reacting. Everybody be like, oh, you flip-flop. Tua flip-flop. I give you what he give us. Call him out. Tua played great this week. Man, Tua looked amazing. He is definitely that dude right now. Tua play trash next week, man. He look like trash, man. Why you flip-flopping? God, dog, did you not just see him flip-flop? People are ridiculous, man. What they want you to do is blindly believe and walk that line with them. And you know why? They want to, just in case they're wrong, they want us all to be wrong so they don't feel the pain by themselves. That's what it comes down to. That's the real psychology of it. They want you to blindly believe with them. So if they're wrong, everybody's wrong so they don't feel bad. But this is one situation where there's enough resistance that don't believe in them and enough pro groups that believe in them. So that's why the war is real heavy. They know that whoever ends up being right, only the people who operate off feelings, they know how important it is. If you're a feelings person, this is important to you. If you're not a feelings person and you're a facts person, it don't matter to you. If he end up great, great. I didn't believe, but that's better for us. If he end up trash, okay. I told you I ain't believe in him. It ain't that big of a deal. Some of y'all got to get out of your feelings. Stop that feeling living. It's just not good. Dolphins make slew of practice squad moves on Monday. Yeah, they made a whole bunch of moves today. They released offensive lineman Grant Hermans and wide receiver Calvin Jackson. They made an addition to practice squad, veteran offensive tackle Kendall Lamb. He was 30 years old, signed with the Texans as an undrafted free agent in 2015. He was undrafted. 4 seasons with Houston, 2 with the Browns, and 1 with Tennessee Titans, and part of the season with Detroit Lions practice squad. He's primarily a right tackle in his career. Played a little left tackle. So a guy that been bounced around everywhere. Dieter. That's what I see. If the O-line holds, we Super Bowl bound. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Insanity. It's the curly hair. You can't stop destiny. Never try to. I never tried to stop destiny. Destiny will happen. No one can stop destiny. It's going to happen. So at the end of the day, You just sit back and enjoy the ride, have your opinion about it, and then at the end of the day, we sit back and say what opinion was right, turn into a fact, and what opinion turned into a falsehood. It's that simple. That simple. Get right. He hasn't shown he can at all this year. Mike White just played an almost perfect game. Why don't you want Mike White? Less money, strong arm, taller, and more physical QB. Because, I mean, me personally, you talk about me? Me personally, first of all, I didn't say I didn't want Mike White. But at the same token, I got to see a larger sample size of Mike White in this league to believe that he can be something. I like Mike White and his intangibles, and I think he could be a good quarterback. But me thinking you can be or not can be means nothing. At the end of the day, only thing that matters is what you put out on the field. You think I'm going to go gung-ho about Mike White because of one game he just had or the little phenomenon last year? It was all good, but it's a small sample size. It ain't no different from Tua. Mike White absolutely looked phenomenal in 3 quarters. Didn't even have to play the 4th quarter. Over 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I saw some of the game. I was going back and forth. He was throwing darts. I was highly impressed. But, okay, let me see a few more games. And if he have a bad game, they don't write his future either. But as he pal games, we'll come up with a more firm conclusion over time. But I'm not finna sit here and say Mike White is the best quarterback on that roster. And he might be. Well, I'll say he is. Actually, my opinion is that he is. But time will tell. He might have 5 games in a row where he looked worse than Zach Wilson. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. And he might end up being the great guy that nobody ever seen coming. Time will tell. I believe Mike White can be good in this league, but I need to see him in some tough situations. That O-line did their thing for him yesterday too, even though he averted some pressures and things like that. But I want to see him play a great defense, and when the going gets rough, I want to see him make plays. So I like Mike White, but again, I need a bigger sample size to just automatically say he can be the franchise quarterback. For the New York Jets. But right now, you might have something. He ain't no slouch. Slouches don't come out and throw 3 touchdowns and no picks and put those yards up. At least you got that much. He ain't a bum. That's a good thing. Mike White is miles above Zach Wilson. Zach can barely get to 100 yards passing. Scary people bashing Tua for getting 200, some barely 100. Jet game. Yeah, it just depends on what your standards are. And I'm not really sold on the stats. You know, if you impacted the game, like say you have a 17 of 23 game, you threw for 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. You didn't turn the ball over. You didn't fumble. You didn't make bad decisions. That's a better game than a 300-yard guy with 3 touchdowns, 1 picks, with some bad decisions. That's how I look at it. It's a better game. Just because you have more stats, that don't mean you played the more efficient or well-rounded game. I want to watch the film and see that if I got a crosser coming across the field 20 yards deep and he wide open and you elect the 7-yarder on 1st and 10, I'm sorry. I got a problem with that. Yeah, it was complete, but no, I got a problem with that. We need to maximize what we're doing. Now, that 7-yarder the guy may have made some moves and went for 60. And your numbers look great. But I'm sorry, I still got a problem with that. It still wasn't the right decision. It worked out in your favor, but it wasn't the right decision. So that's why film is so important. Film studies are so important. Studying the film is really, really important. Context is huge in games. That's why I know San Francisco secondary ain't missing all of these guys like Buffalo was missing when we played them. They secondary ain't banged up like Baltimore's was. This is a true, hey man, this is gonna be a great game to watch. Go show up in this one, and yeah, we got our guy. And now I can feel good about stop talking about the doubts all the time. But as long as there's doubts, it is what it is. I'm gonna talk about them. TD, make the call to Ross and change our logo. Man, to what? The old one? The old logo? TD, Mike White, no matter good or bad, stick with him at this point. A QB throws his team under the bus. Zach, he's out. Well, I'll tell you this. That team is dangerous now. And everybody's like they're going to come right back down to earth this week. Well, let's see. Who they play again this week? Who the Jets play? Who the Jets play this week? I think I know. Let me make sure I'm correct. Who the Jets play? Vikings. So if the Jets go beat the Vikings with Mike White and he look good again, what y'all gonna think about the Jets, Dolphin fans? You're right. Vikings with the 32nd ranked pass defense. I agree. But again, that offense is potent. If the Jets beat the Vikings, what you gonna think about the Jets? What you gonna think about the Jets? Matter of fact, I'll do you one worse. The Jets beat the Vikings, Buffalo win a game, and we lose. How you feel now? Dolphin Nation would go in a frenzy. See, y'all ain't thinking about that. In 1 week, we'd go in a frenzy. You ain't got to admit it. You do not have to admit it. Does Buffalo play the Patriots or something this week? Because maybe that's the only thing that would be beneficial. Hold on. NFL. Let me see something. All right, this week. Bills, Patriots. Yep. Lucky for that. But watch this. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Buffalo or Patriots win either way. Imagine us losing. The Jets win. And the Buffalo or the Patriots win. It don't even matter at that point. We'd go in a frenzy. We no longer would control our own destiny because most of these teams got easier schedules than us for the rest of the way. Let's say Buffalo even loses with us and the Patriots 1 game behind. It's even worse. It's even worse. And if Buffalo wins and the Jets win and we lose, it's still bad. Buffalo and the Jets 1 game ahead of us with 5 games left. And when you go look at their schedules, it's not good. And first of all, you would 100% be required to beat Buffalo. That's a given in the next game on the road in those conditions. I got to see what's Buffalo remaining schedule real quick. So they got the Patriots, then they got the Jets, then they got us. 3 division games in a row for Buffalo. That is very interesting. They got 3 division games in a row. And then they end the season with Chicago. Bengals will be a good one, and the Patriots again. Technically, our next 3 games makes our schedule tougher, in my opinion. Our schedule's tougher than Buffalo. Playing it out. The Patriots, I just absolutely think they're done, but I'm going to be honest with you. That was actually an impressive performance by the Patriots versus the Vikings, even though they lost. That was actually an impressive loss. Let's be honest. That was an impressive performance. They stuck in there the whole time until the very end. That was actually very impressive. how New England played that game. I know if they play that way against us and we play the way we played them the first time, they're going to win. But they got Buffalo, Arizona, Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills. Patriots got a tougher schedule than us. But again, I don't think we're really checking for them to be a threat to us. Now the Jets, they're the last ones. Let me look at what they got. As they already beat Buffalo with Josh Allen, which is crazy to me. But who say they can't do it again with great quarterback play? The Jets messed up. They should have had Mike White in both of them Patriots games, and they might have 2 more wins right now. That's the crazy part of their season. So they got the Vikings, and I told you, what if they win? They got Buffalo, which is winnable because they already beat them. They got the Lions, winnable. The Jags, winnable. Seattle, that's a tough one. And the Dolphins, tough. And on the road, not likely for them to win. But that's an easier schedule for the Jets. All I'm saying is I believe that this weekend right here, if those two teams win and we lose, we will not win the division. If those 2 teams win and we lose, we will not win the division. And let me bring another thing up. You know what the most scary game is to me? There's 2 games that I'm actually real nervous about that everybody's like, yeah, but we probably got them easy. There's 2 games. See, San Francisco, that's a how good are you game. I'm not worried about that. Whatever they do, they're going to tell us who they are, good or bad. I ain't scared of the game because it's just going to tell us who we are. If we suck, hey, they told you. If we great, they told you. I'm not scared of the San Francisco game because they're going to give us answers. But I am concerned about the Chargers in Green Bay. I ain't going to lie. Low-key, those are the games that I feel are trap-worthy. I feel like those games can be trap-worthy. Those games can be trap-worthy. Those games can be like, dang, man. We shouldn't have, like, man, like, for real. Green Bay, you tripping. Okay. All right. We'll see. Concerned about Green Bay? Yeah. On Christmas Day, on a holiday? All right. We'll see how it goes. I'm just a little concerned about him. It's something that's cautious in me about him. It's something that I'm a little cautious about. Why everyone hyping up San Fran? Why all tripping? Well, Burgos, the reason why the San Francisco game is hyped up, it's not that San Francisco's being hyped up, but when you really, if you like studying football, you know which teams have a better chance of matching up against you. So this team is the number 1 defense in the NFL. That's number 1. This team will tell you how good your offense is or not. They have absolutely destroyed everybody except elite offenses. Kansas City destroyed them. Elite offense. That put the stamp on Kansas City. Yeah, we still elite as an offense. But you can't put it like this. Here's another thing you got to consider. Kansas City put up 40 and you still the number 1 defense. You see what I'm saying? This defense is legit. This defense is the defense that tells you if you're real or not. If your offense is real or not. If you go out there and you ball out and you destroy them, your offense is real. If you don't, you go back to the drawing board. You think you're good because you're beating up on scrubs. That's number 1. Number 2, their O-line is better. With or without Armstead. That is a fact. I'm not arguing with people. They got better left tackle. No matter how much if you want to say not by that much, he's better, but not by, however you want to put it, their O-line is better. Okay? We got the better weapons. But they ain't far off. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo, and Ayuk, Tyreek Waddle and I don't know who you want to throw in the third slot, but they're very in. It ain't really moving the needle. It's Tyreek and Waddle, to be honest with you. Tyreek and Waddle versus Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk, Deebo, and Kittle. I ain't think about. So some could argue collectively they might actually have. I don't want to say better weapons, but I mean collectively you could make the argument, but we better. You know. I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, in their pass rush, come on, man, we ain't even got to bring that up. And once again, their pass rush is already elite, but just the thought of no Armstead against Mostert and those guys, whole different story. Man, y'all need to stop talking about our pass rush better. That is a blatant lie. That's why we got to send 5 to even get pressure. To try to get pressure. Let's get that straight. We got to send 5 to try to get pressure. And don't forget, it's the same defensive front that let Fields do whatever he wanted on them. That let Jared Goff do whatever he wanted on them. Don't get me started with the teams that did whatever they wanted. Kirk Cousins did whatever he wanted on them. Don't get me started at the teams that did whatever they wanted on this defensive front. Miss me with that. They got the better D-line. 4-man rush organic, period. Period. Ain't even close, man. I ain't finna argue. They ain't even close. Ain't even close. You pick our best foe and say, go get it, versus they best foe, man, ain't nobody in their mind gonna pick us. They got a great linebacking core too. I've never liked our linebacking core. So when we say, why do we hype up San Francisco? They're just a good matchup. We can beat them, but they're a good matchup. It's a great matchup on both sides. Like, this is going to be a real test. It's a great matchup. It's a great matchup. Decision if that O-line don't hold up and they play like they did when Terron Armstead went out, it ain't a good matchup. It ain't a good matchup. We're going to be looking at a game where we getting a whole bunch of pressures and misfires, 50-50s, where you got to hope Tyreek can be the Superman. If we win this game, it's going to be similar to how we beat the Patriots in week 1. Nothing flashy, nothing great. We just came out of there with a win. We ain't did nothing special. Nothing to be like, man, we did this, we did that. Man, it was amazing. We just left out with a win. We played football. We got the best of them. Then you got a first-year head coach versus a seasoned coach who's running a similar system but been doing it longer. So that's why people are hyping San Francisco up. That's why they're hyping them up. Me, for one, I want to blow them out. That'll be so, oh my gosh, man. That'll be so rewarding. I want to blow them bums out. That would be so rewarding, man. Is the coach really running this kickback, or they finally stopped him? That would be so rewarding. They will get blown out. I hope so. That would be a great thing if we can blow them out. That would be amazing. See, the thing that I'm worried about really is the turnover ratio. See, this is the perfect game where we actually throw a few picks. We actually fumble from a sack, especially if that O-line playing trash. See, this is the game where San Francisco can win because their defense puts up points. Nobody's thinking about that. The two are running for his life. Blindside hits. Bosa stretching his arm out. Tua caught back to throw and he hit it. All of that stuff, man. This is the game that we're subject to that. If the O-line don't play well without Armstead. Trust me, they will have a lot of max protect. We will run a lot of 2 tight end sets with the running back that's helping block. We'll have 8-man protections, 2-man routes. We'll send the deep crosser, like we'll send a deep crosser in a go route, and we'll throw a lot of balls in the middle of the field, telling our receivers, once you get the 2, I'm telling y'all, we literally throw. Y'all think I was joking when I say that. We have designed 40-yard comeback routes. There ain't no such thing in the NFL, but we have created it. Y'all think I be joking when I say that. When I watch the film, I be like, oh, this is designed. We got designed 40-yard comeback routes in the middle of the field. Tyreek Hill, run a go. By the time you get 50 yards down the field, just stop and head back. Wide open. Everybody trailing you. They don't expect you to stop on a dime. You got 2 safeties on you. Great coverage. They don't expect you to stop and start coming back. They running for their life just to stay in position because of how fast he is. And he start coming back, the ball already on his way. And Tua ain't throwing him short. That's what the play is. Anticipating him stopping and coming back. It's the first time I ever seen this in the NFL. 40-yard comeback routes. 50-yard comeback routes. I'm seeing this on film on some of those balls. Tyreek burning full speed. He got the corner chasing him. He got the safety coming over to help. Turn around. Where's the ball? Let me identify it. They done went another 5 feet because they know he was going to stop. It's actually genius. It's unorthodox, but it's what we have to do. It's what we have to do. But as long as it works, it is what it is. I'll take it. It's offense. It's offense. I really don't know how you guard that. I really don't know how you guard that. How can you guard that? But you also need time to throw the ball so that he can go execute that. But how do you guard that? As a matter of fact, they need to do it more often. Somebody said, Cap, well, if I'm lying and Tua's just underthrowing everything and Tyreek just know he's going to underthrow it and he turn around like, where is that? There you go. And that's bad on Tua. If it ain't designed that way, then Tyreek is just making Tua just very competent this year. Yeah, but anyway, man. Come on, TD. That's not intentional. Why throw a deep comeback when Tyreek is already 5 yards past everyone? You don't get it. Tyreek can be 5 yards past everyone, but them guys running for their life to catch up. 5 yards past anyone, if you stop on a dime, they still going to fly past you by 7 to 10 yards. I could be in front of somebody full speed, 5 yards. I'm beating y'all. If I stop on a dime, they going to fly past me before they recognize I stopped. They already going to be 2 yards past me when they realize, oh, they don't expect to stop. His decision of stopping alone is going to make them blow past them. We'll see, man. We're looking for a great game by Tua. Please, Tua, play great. I want to be able to praise you. I want to be able to say you the guy. Me just keeping it real is exhausting. Like, for real. Me keeping it real, when keeping it real goes wrong. Me keeping it real and my true thoughts about Tua is exhausting. Like, y'all don't even understand. There's a part of me like, just become the dude so I could just, like, please go be the dude, man. I'm tired of arguing with people about obvious things that they want to make excuses for. They want to overinflate. Sick of it. Come on. And I ain't gonna lie, that's why I kind of build in moments like this. San Francisco game, you go ball out, I'm there with you. I build in these moments. All right, if he ball out versus San Francisco, I believe he the guy because I'm tired. I'm tired. He is already that dude. That's fine to you, and I ain't got nothing wrong with that. You believe he that dude? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Serves you right. If he's already that dude or been that dude to you, good job, great. There ain't nothing wrong with that. We're talking about my personal feeling towards Tua. I'm waiting on him to, without a shadow of a doubt, be that dude for me. If he's already that for you, ain't nothing wrong with that. He's not that for me yet. And here's an opportunity to be that. Here's the opportunity to be that. All right. Tweet that. Ever since Mina made them tweets that got a mob after her, she ain't spoke on Miami since. It's bad when you have to have a mob to defend somebody. Like when people act like when there's this many people having doubts. I want y'all to think about that. There's so like I ain't never seen a quarterback get this many doubts. It ain't just because they hate Tua more than they hated Baker or whoever it was. Because there is a lot of justifications in the doubts. And don't get me wrong, some things are over the top or stretches, including me. Sometimes I do too. But that's on Twitter. But it ain't just hate. The problem is when you say one thing critical that's true, people act like there is nothing critical about Tua. There is nothing he needs to work on. He has always been perfect. He has always been perfect. He has never made a bad decision. He has never had a bad game. Anything that didn't happen right for him was not his fault. It was definitely some other element. And if you push back on any bit of that, you're a Tua hater. You're a Tua hater. And that's where it gets funny. But I will say this. There are certain people that do disgust me that praise Tua fakely, that are making, like, people think, oh, you just make money off of hating on Tua. This is not beneficial. Trust me. The moment he proves it, I ain't gonna have better numbers. I ain't gonna make more money. I mean, I will. Ain't no numbers and money like Tua doing good and me saying it. It don't get better. If Tua that dude and I believe it, and this channel reflects that, there ain't no better success than that. Oh, we gonna go through the roof. But there are some people out here with some of their takes. They are literally pouring on, pandering to the Tuaneers to advance their career. To advance their career. Big time. That's not true, TD. Are you kidding me? What's not true? What's not true? If Tua become that dude, I'll have better numbers. And I'm admitting he that dude, and I'm saying that how great he is. I won't have better numbers, man. You done lost your mind. You done lost your mind. You have lost your mind. You need to go look at my analytics and my statistics. Anytime Tua played great and I was on the screen talking about how great he was, man, it ain't even close. It ain't even close. I double every statistical category I have. Every monetary category I have, double. Everything. I mean, y'all don't, man. Matter of fact, it's even better for me because I have my doubts. And when I talk about him doing something good, they really love that. They really love that. So trust me, it don't go both ways. That's the crazy part about it. People think that if Tua that dude, and I say, yeah, I admit Tua's that dude, oh my gosh, you're going to go from 23,000 to 2,000. Your channel ain't going to be nothing no more. You were wrong. Name me one person in this world that wasn't wrong about a take that's in the sports industry. The train keeps moving. Matter of fact, people will appreciate me giving them his props more than just sitting there dying on a sword. Like some people will. Some people will. Some people will. Some people, if Tua prove it, he killed San Francisco. He finished the season. He got a playoff run. Some people going to still die on the sword. Not me. Because that's some good competition. You can't deny that. These next 3 games, you can't deny. If he ball out and play well, you can't deny that. You are really, really, really ingrained in your soul a hater if you deny him after these 3 games. Now, I'm not going to deny him if he balls out against San Francisco, but I could understand somebody saying, nah, not just San Francisco. I want all like 3 games. I could understand somebody else feeling that way, but he ball out after these 3 games. I'm sorry. He listen, you are really a hater. Facts. I take up for you on Twitter. I'm strictly speaking of media. Oh, that's what's up. But I be trying to tell y'all, don't take up for me on Twitter, man. That's for a specific reason. People on Twitter don't watch me anyway. I've never been a social media guy. We were at 18,000 subs before I even cared about Twitter. I'm not a social media guy. And since I got on Twitter, I don't even mess with my Instagram no more. And I used to be on that heavy. I'm not a social media guy. I've never been a Twitter, Instagram person. People just keep, man, you need to be on there more. And then I try. So I don't care what happens on Twitter and all of that. But them people on Twitter don't watch me anyway. Some of y'all are on Twitter and y'all follow me to see how I troll them. And see how funny it is when they take the bait. Like I done hit them with some good ones lately and they still take the bait. And people just all in the comment section, bro, he trolling y'all. But it'd be pretty funny. It'd be pretty funny. I hit him yesterday with that Mike White one. And that Terron Armstead. To a little like straight garbage without Armstead. Back to the same Flores version. And got benched. I told him he got benched because he couldn't handle the pressure, and they wanted to keep him healthy because he ain't worthy of. And there's a little bit of honesty in it, but still, y'all know I was over the top with that. Boy, they mad on Twitter about it. They got me in this crazy tournament, Tua hater tournament. Somebody gonna send me today, bro. You about to advance to the final 16. It started with like over 100 people. I'm like, I don't care nothing about all that craziness. In some Tua hater tournament with receipts, and they putting haters against each other to determine who the biggest hater. It's ridiculous. It's crazy, man. I love Tua. You got me on a Tua hate tournament. I love Tua. I'm just waiting on him to love me back with his play on the field against when it matters most, against great competition. Man. Tua goes out there and ball against San Francisco, Chargers, Buffalo. Even TD will get a Tua jersey. You might be right. I told you I got to know 100% he the guy before I get a jersey. But them 3 games, that's 11 wins. We done clinched playoffs, and we still got 3 more to go. You might be right. My first real Tua jersey might be coming in this house for Christmas, right on time. You might be right. Because I got this knockoff right now. Hold on, I got this custom knockoff right now. Yeah, I got this custom knockoff right now. Oh, man. $35, baby. $35. $35. If you want your custom knockoffs, $35. Holla at your boy TD. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is funny. You know what? I'll tell y'all the story. You know what's funny about this? See? You know what's funny about this? Let me tell you what's real funny about this. See? The people who make these jerseys, they contacted me and they said, we want you to advertise our jerseys. We want you to advertise our jerseys. Man, I don't got the video anymore. I did an advertisement for them. And basically they paid me $500. They said, we want to customize a jersey for you. Pick a jersey of your favorite player on the team. I said, you know what? I need me a Tua jersey because I ain't getting no real ones. I said, send me a Tagovailoa and I put a 1 on the front in Dolphin colors. And they sent me the jersey, paid me my $500 and said, can you do a 1-minute clip advertisement and send it back to us to use? And I did. I picked Tua. I didn't pick Waddle. I didn't pick nobody else. I picked Tua. I could have picked anybody. I picked Tua. I love Tua. Look at the tag. Look at the tag. Look at the tag. You can't even see the tag how small it is. Oh my gosh. What did it say? Extra large? But they paid me. They paid that's good money for 1 minute. That's good money for 1 minute. T-Rich said lies. I'm not lying to you. You know what, T-Rich? Now you're going to make me try to find the video. You think I'm lying. I swear to you, I'm not lying. Hold on. I'm going to try. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to see if I can find the video of the advertisement. Give me one moment. I hope I can find it because I'll upload it right now and send it to you. Let me see. Could it be in this folder? Family, TD Sports. Give me 1 second. Please still have that video. Let me go on TD Fans Talk. Give me a second. Interview. Gosh, don't tell me I got rid of it after I did it. No intro. So it's not in TD Fans Talk folder. TD stuff. Hey, I probably don't have it anymore. I wonder, did I play that video on the channel once? I'm wondering if I actually played it on the channel once. Finesse them out of 500. Ain't no finesse. That was work. I mean, you'd be surprised how many times I get contacted. It ain't finesse. Hey, they out there somewhere using my content to advertise their jerseys. You may have never seen it, but they playing it somewhere. They pay for this stuff for a reason. I ain't gonna lie. Like some of the stuff lately, man, it's been a blessing. Y'all don't even understand how much of a blessing it's been for me and my family. Like I have my own merchandising business, and I've eclipsed that now with the channel and what is in its potential. And I ain't never thought about that being a possibility. So it's definitely been a blessing. These don't be finesses. The people reach out to me at least once a week. I get these type of things come through. Advertise this toothbrush for me. A company out of China will give you $750. All right. I'm like, ooh, the bristles are nice. I like them and all that stuff. And I send them back the video. Thank you so much. And there go the money. It be all kind of little stuff y'all don't even see, you know. They want content creators. Some things you do see. They want content creators who used to being in front of camera, giving personal experiences and different things like that. 100 a minute is $6K an hour. Yeah, man. I was trying to school Nick Hicks to a trainer on that, man. He changed his tone after we had that conversation. I got real with him at one point because he kept coming at me even when I told him, keep my name out your mouth. I don't say nothing about you. You keep on trying to come at me. But, you know, and then I said, it's all good that you do it. But, you know, at the end of the day, if I clap back, it is what it is. But I think we both low key without saying it to each other. It was moments of just antagonizing each other. He defending his guy. He know I'm clapping back. He throwing shots. I'm throwing shots. It wasn't nothing that serious. I don't think he's that serious about it. But again, he's still going to defend his guy, which I respect that about him. But then he paused one moment and he asked that question, man. He said, he asked that question. He said, man, because he was saying something about a guy sitting in his mama basement making pennies and stuff like that. And I just told him straight out, you have no clue, bro. You have no idea the opportunities and the money that can be made. And he said, like what money? And I told him straight out, if you know what you're doing and you're very good at it, if you got a following like mine, you can it maximize, you can bring in 12 a month. 12,000 a month. And that's only spending about $1,000 a month. You can bring in about $12,000 a month. Because when I did this and I started this, I never did it for money. I didn't care about any money. Opportunities came, a few $100s were offered. Yay, that's pretty dope. But I have a whole different look on stuff now. In the way, and I'm not, and let me be clear about something. I'm not talking about super chats. I'm not talking about donations. I'm not talking about any of that. And that's in itself. I'm not talking about any of that. That's the crazy part. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about if you know how to leverage your Twitter, Instagram, because that's why I'm actually about to get on Twitter and Instagram. I ain't gonna lie, that's why I want Twitter like prove something to. Like, gosh, I actually because think about it. If I was about the money, I'm telling y'all now, if I was a two-a-near, y'all don't understand. I think I would probably be 70,000 subs right now. If I was a two-a-near, I'd probably be up to 70,000 subs. I straight up believe it as a fact. I will be up to 70,000 subs. Should be up to 100,000. But sometimes, and I've never pulled this card, but you're gonna always have racial components. And why would you say that, TD? Because if you read my emails every day, you'll know. They try to put me against certain people. I could never listen to NIGG and all of that. That's why I listen to this person. Yeah, that's fine. God loves you. And I reply to all those nasty, crazy emails. God loves you. No, there's a lot of racist stuff that I get, and I don't care. I'm one of those people. Like I said, I don't operate off of feelings or what somebody say. But it is eye-opening for me to realize you can never pay attention to other people and what they're doing. You just got to stay in your lane and do what you do, because some people will not watch you just because of the color of your skin. Some people will not watch you just because you're a man. Some people will not watch you because you're a heterosexual man or whatever. You know, it's so many different things. And it's very interesting. TD, you inspired me to make my own Dolphins channel. Yeah, man, and hit me up, man. If I can help, I'll help. I'll be trying to reach out to all these creators and tell them stuff that I didn't know that I know now. Like, y'all don't understand, man. There are people out here with 100,000 subs that don't generate 10% of what could be generated. Some of them don't even know They don't even know the leverage they have. They don't even know the leverage they have. And I'll be trying to reach out to people. Hey, if you want to chat about this and that, I may be able to school you on this or school you on that or give you some information that can, because all of them want to quit their jobs. All of them want to be able to do this full time, what they love. And I'll be like, man, I might be able to help you. But some people pride. What I got going on is what I got going on. You ain't leveraging what you got, man. You could be taking care of your family even better, and this is on a personal note when I speak to certain people and they talk about how they want to, do better for their family and stuff. TD has the best personality in this space. Now that goes a long way. I know that my personality drives. I mean, y'all got to understand, within the first 3 years of my channel, I know that my personality is the reason I was the fastest growing channel on YouTube. Not YouTube, but in the Dolphins community. Fastest growing. I mean, growing fast. I mean, it was people that was 3, 4, 5,000 ahead, close the gap. Instantly. Bam. Same amount. Then we drafted Tua. Lord Jesus. Then we drafted Tua, and I promised to keep it real. And I still grow at a crazy fast rate. But like I said, like in the last 3 months, we done added 2,400 subs. No, 2,600, excuse me. I got to almost 27 because I got to add what we did this month. But yeah, man, because I'm real on here, I'm keeping my personality. I'm not all day. And Terron Armstead, hey guys, thank you for tuning in to TDPHINSTALK. Now, I started out, I was doing some of this stuff. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Listen, Terron Armstead, we got some bad news. He's going to miss a few days. A few weeks. It could be this long. It could be that long. At the end of the day, the Dolphins are going to have to find out a way to continue to win without him. But with the resurgence of Tua Tagovailoa and great play, will he be able to keep it up? We hope so. And at the end of the day, Mike McDaniel has to, just some general, giving you the news. No personalization. That's why I only do live streams. That's why we read the comment section and I only do live streams. The only time I did a pre-recorded video is when they shut my channel down for 3 months. When I was showing y'all film the first year that I started this channel. I was like, look at this film, and I was doing highlights and showing y'all, and then they shut me down for 3 months. I couldn't live stream, so I had to pre-record. And I would drop videos that way. But my niche in this is personalization. I actually get to have a conversation with y'all. And and we build a bond. And my true heart. Some of y'all try to guess it, but you know where I be coming from because I get to articulate it out versus just saying it one time. You got an opinion and you know what I mean? So that was always, nobody live streamed until I did. And this ain't me saying, oh, look at what I created and this and that, but I'm talking about YouTube. People weren't live streaming like this. Every stream. And that person, and let me tell you something. Let me say this and that'll be it about it. That's why they can't cancel me. They have tried to cancel me. Now they don't cancel me. They just like, man, just ignore him because they've canceled a lot of people and got a lot of people ran off, but they can't cancel me. And there's only one reason they can't cancel me. It ain't because I got 23,000 going on 24,000 subs. It's because within those 24,000 subs, I have actually built relationships. Some of y'all, be honest, you feel like you know me on a personal basis, even though we never met a day in our life. Because my wife say that to me all the time. You act like you know these people on a personal basis. You never met them a day in your life. The way y'all talk, the way y'all communicate, all this and that. And to not have met any of y'all, most of y'all a day in my life, but we still have a relationship. Some of y'all feel like you know me because I'm filter free. I'm filter free. I give you the real deal. I don't give a filter. I tell you, hey, this ain't gonna sound good, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. I let my personality come out. I let my 954 Broward County, South Florida come out of me and be me. I bro, keep it classy, keep it, man. I'm me. Nobody could do me better than me. So why wouldn't I do it all the time? I ain't finna sit up here and fake and do it. Now you sit there and ESPN call me and talk about we want to give you a $500,000 contract for a season to commentate and do these sets, and you can get to fake me all you want. Then that's a different story. Yes, TD just and that's the real me telling you I'll sell out for $500,000 quick. I said you need formal TD. You need non-controversial TD? I got you. Let the check clear. Let me give me the contract. And I promise you, you're gonna get what you want me to, what narrative do you want me to push? And that's as real as it get. That I can sit here and tell y'all, yep, that's the only way. But outside of that, I'm gonna stay true to me. Not unless you paying my family bills and keeping a roof over these 6 kids' heads and keeping their bellies full. You can't stop me from being me. You can't stop me from being me. I'm sorry. ESPN pay janitors $500K. You worth more, TD. Nah, see, I need to go get in the janitor profession then. I know what you talking about. I need to go be a janitor. I need to go update. I need to dust my LinkedIn off. LinkedIn, ESPN janitor. I'm the best. I got sanitation experience. I got great sanitation. Makeups. I'm talking about they pay janitors $500K. Well, listen, all us in the wrong profession then. Janitors making more than practice squad players? Man, you miss me with that. I ain't crazy. Listen, man, I live to make sure these kids all right. And I ain't perfect. But at the same token, listen, my family is most important, man. So I'm going to always do me because I'm free to. I could say what beat writers can't say. I could say what people on ESPN can't say. I can do and say what the fake YouTubers can't because they got to keep an image or appeal to the people watching them. That's why I made sure the audience that I've built are people that accept me for me. Everybody else, I don't want you to be here. If you're not going to accept me for me, then I don't care about having 70K subs. 70K subs to be a fake me ain't worth it when I can have 20, 25 and be authentic. Y'all got to think about it. When I first started live streaming games on Sunday, I was the only one live streaming games on Sunday. And we brought out big audiences. Like the first 3 years, we 600, 700, 800. 2 years ago, 900. We were like, man, last year, thousands easy. Man, I remember looking up 1 week this year. We were at like the norm is between 1,000 and 1,400. But in 1 week, we were at like 2,200. But everybody live streams the game now. That didn't stop anything. You would think that now that everybody live stream, now all of a sudden I'm gonna be going from 1,200 on most streams to 600 during the game. But no, it's even higher now. Higher than those. Even guys with bigger followings. And Doug is my guy. That's my brother. I mean, Doug has never crossed me, never been disrespectful, always had my back. We chat on a regular basis in text. And Doug got a way bigger following now. But on Sundays, we still leading the way. And that ain't trying to compare. But what I'm saying to people is, think about how many people don't watch me, though. When I got 1,400 or Doug got 11 or 12, and then other channels got 6, and then the 3s and the 4s. Think about how many people ain't watching me, but it ain't stopping nothing over here. not watching. And I used to look at it, but that's opportunity to gain more people. Now, a lot of these people done already made their decision. I can't watch this guy. He's too much for me. And this is why I only care about building an audience that rock with me and they accept my personality. And we know what that entails. And it ain't it ain't just a race thing over here. I mean, we got everybody over here. This ain't about race. This is about personality. This is about people who can accept other people's opinions, whether they agree or disagree, and people who are down to earth, people who don't over obsess and under obsess about things. People are just general and don't have their own hidden agenda to make one person lift over somebody else. You should see how many people, oh, that's why this person is bigger than you. Oh, that's why this person deserves more people than you because you suck. It's a shame that you're on an AFC East roundtable when this person or that person is supposed to be over there. What are you talking about? I created the AFC East roundtable. This ain't about who should be on. I created it. That's one thing that is triggering me. One of the rare things. I keep getting that lately. This person should be on the AFC East roundtable representing the Dolphins, not you. I created it. And let me tell you a funny little story about that. Here's what's crazy about it. And I'm so glad it worked out this way because I'm rocking with three guys that create the perfect chemistry. Y'all don't know these guys off camera. We have a perfect chemistry. Y'all don't know the things we doing together, how huge they are. Y'all wouldn't even know. We can dislike Mostert words day and out. Trust me, when it comes to the chemistry, I am telling y'all, I'm glad it happened the way it happened. Because guess how this whole thing started? It started, remember the AFC East roundtable, this is the third year. Shockingly, this is the third year we're in. It started out 4 years ago. Little old TD had 3,000 subs or something like that. I'm gonna tell this story. This is what's funny. This is where I get my validation, not all these haters. I do get validation from them though, because it does tell me I'm doing something right. But this is the funny part about the AFC East roundtable. When I first created the AFC East roundtable, I pitched the idea to a big Buffalo Bills YouTuber, right? Well, I had 3,000 subs. They had 15,000. I pitched the idea. I was pitching the idea to 3 Jets YouTubers. And I didn't know any Patriots YouTubers. I couldn't find any. All I knew is this guy that trolled me every time we played. I didn't even know Mostert works. I just knew people used to be like, bro, this man trolling you. Every time the Patriots play, I'm like, he just having fun. I did not know him on a personal level. I didn't know him at all. He used to come at me hard, y'all. He used to have me smoking blunts and all kind of stuff in his videos. Crazy. But he the only Patriots YouTube I know. I ran it by him. He was nonchalant. He didn't care. I guess we could do something, but, whatever. 2 Jets guys I talked to. One was really down for it. He had like 9,000 subs. The other one was iffy. He was procrastinating because I would talk to 3 creators in every community, because if I talk to 3, I could at least get 1, right? And so the Jets guys, I had a Jets guy. In Buffalo, I talked to one of the biggest Buffalo YouTubers at the time. They had like 15, 16K, and I'm just 3K. So this is what was told to me. We already got Patriots with Mostert works, but, he's nonchalant at the time. The Jets guy, one of them was so indecisive. Well, I don't know what days I'll be available, and I may not be able to do it all the time. I'm like, man, my plan is falling apart. And then the other guy, he really wanted to, but he ain't had a personality. He was like really lame. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you gotta have some personality in this, man. There's some lame people out here. I'm just calling it what it is. I ain't got nothing against them. I'll help you, I'll collab, whatever. But some people just, I guess the more formal word, corny. I don't know how you want to put it. And I was like, I ain't got a Jets guy. And the Buffalo guy basically, I'll tell you about the Buffalo one last. So I reached out to Mostert Works. I was like, man, it's hard for me to find a Jets guy. And then he was like, well, there's this Jets media guy. He's small, but he's somebody. And it was Richie. Richie was like 1,000 subs, just a nobody. But I like that he carried himself right and he knew his stuff. And he just you know what I mean? And Mostert Works said, I'm gonna reach out to him for you. I said, good, go do that. And then he reached back and say, oh, this guy's stoked for it. He down. So that's how Richie came into place. And now I got the last thing I want to say is the Buffalo Bills. So this big Buffalo Bills YouTuber, he said, basically he kind of get out my face. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We cool today, but it was kind of like I ain't got time for that. Me and my team, we're doing bigger things. We ain't got time for that little stuff. Cause what? I got 5,000, 6,000. No, I mean I was small, y'all. Richie was even smaller. Mostert Works only did content that was trolling. It wasn't nothing, whatever, right? And the AFC East went on hold for that first year 4 years ago. My plan went away. And I wasn't down by it, but I was basically like, you ain't on this level yet by the Buffalo guy. The Buffalo guy is the one who actually inspired me. The Buffalo Bills YouTuber actually motivated me to put the work in. Like I wasn't doing it for money or anything like that, but I start going hard because I've never made this a competition, but I had a vendetta about that. I'm like, we can create greatness, but you're looking at my number. You're looking at this little 3, 4, 5, whatever. I think it was like 3,000 I had. You're looking at this little number I got, and like we're at 16K. We doing big things. We're building something here. And I was like, man, that's messed up. That would have been pretty dope because you got, a great personality and all of that. That next year, I grew like 5,000 subs. I went hard in year 2 or something, 2.5, 3, whatever. I grew 5,000 subs, 4,000, 5,000 subs. And I was like at 7. And that's where people start looking up like, who is that? Who is that? See him coming up pretty quick. That's why. It wasn't that I was coming up. I was coming up quick. These people have had their channels for 10 years, and at 15, here I am in year 2. Oh, 7 over there? Okay. Who is that coming up quick? And I said, man, I got influence now. I'm going to reach out to people. Richie was down. Mostert Works was still down. And that's when we found Dan. And Dan was like, oh, yeah. Dan was stoked about it right off rip. And we start doing the rotations. All of these guys' channel has grown immensely, in large part to the roundtable, because we gave each other exposure to each other's audiences. Now we've created something with the roundtable that is so massive. Y'all don't understand how massive it is on the back end. I was giving y'all some numbers earlier. That's in large part, believe it or not, to the roundtable. Like we moving numbers, and I'm talking about every way you could put it. Like all of us are like, all of us are blessed with the stuff that's been happening this year, man. And that's why we put it on his own channel, launched it, and let it take off. And the stuff we got planned for the near future, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so crazy. It's gonna be so crazy, man, and it's going insane. Y'all don't see it, and these are great shows, and it brings all the communities together. It can only get bigger and bigger. It can only get bigger and bigger. And let me see right now real quick. I want to see what, like, do y'all realize how long we've had the roundtable now? We're about to complete 3 months on the roundtable. And we have 6,300 subs. 6,300 subs in 3 months. Let that sink in. T-Rich said, eating off of Mojo, LOL, man. I would agree, but it ain't even 20%. I would agree with what you said, and it's true, but it ain't even 20%, bro. I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't even understand, bro. We are being blessed. And all of this, I personally believe, was fueled because of a Buffalo Bills YouTuber kind of blew the idea off. Now, this Buffalo YouTuber had 9,000 more subs than me at the time. And today, they're still bigger than me. I don't want to get a person away, but I'll just say, well, it'll probably give it away. It ain't even by 1,000. They're bigger than me by 700 subs. At that moment, they had about 9,000 more subs than me, and right now they're about 700 subs bigger. And we're cool. We're actually cool. We're cool. But I will always remember this idea was brought to that person first, which is crazy. But yeah, man, it happens. It happens, man. But I'll never forget that. That was the only little personal little thing inside that I'd never forgot in the YouTube community. That's the only little personal thing that I took personal. Like, dang, you looking at my little 2,000-3,000, and just like that's kind of because that's the vibe I got. I don't really got time for the smaller stuff. We're building this. We got a team, and I got to check with my team to see if we'd even have time to even play around with this stuff and this little stuff. And everything was little. Everything was whatever. And I never forget that. It just always stuck with me. And I would grind and be like, don't worry, year after year. Then I'm closing that gap. Not only that, but we're going to make the AFC East the best as we can because it's huge. And I'm going to be honest, I would love to bring other Dolphin YouTubers on the AFC East roundtable, right? As like primary shows, like, hey, I want you to handle it this show. I want you to handle it that show. But it's just sad, man. Like, some people in our own community, they don't know. I've heard, like, I ain't gonna lie, some messy people in our community, but I've heard phone call recordings of what they got to say about me and stuff like that. Like, literally, jealousy is at all-time high. Why am like some people feel like their content is better, but they're not growing as fast and stuff like that. And instead of building an alliance, which would allow you to grow faster and get the recognition due, instead they transform that into hate. Like, some people really feel like they should be way past me or in doing so much more right now, and it makes no sense. Because I'll be the first to tell y'all, some people content out there is really great. It's really great, but you can't finagle and backstab people your way up. At some point it comes to an end. So at the end of the day, and y'all wouldn't even believe it. Sometimes I be even suggesting that I bring certain people, but they be like, man, no, because they wouldn't do it for you. I mean, you heard what they said about this. They heard what you said. Man, I've literally people on recordings just nasty about me, straight disrespect. And they don't know. People be on their YouTube channel when the stream over, backstage with everybody chatting up, bringing me up, talking crazy. They don't know. I'm sitting there listening to it all. People screenshot, recording it that's backstage with them, sending it to me, and I'm like, well, they gonna feel the way they feel. We just gonna keep doing what we doing, and I'll keep on recommending people to go check out other channels, including theirs. Including theirs. You can't trust the people who recording. I agree with that too, T Rich. That's why TD don't talk about nobody in this community. I sit back and listen to everybody. This person said this person did that to you. Oh, really? Okay. How do you feel about that? No, I mean, it's all good. It is what it is. I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. Well, you don't. No. I ain't getting into all of that. I ain't got time for no drama. But appreciate you letting me know. So nobody ain't gonna ever have no recording of look at TD saying this about no. So trust me, I get it, T Rich. Just like they record, I could be recorded. But I ain't gonna never be caught recorded like that. Because I ain't got time to be talking about nobody else that ain't paying my bills. Like I keep telling y'all. And on top of it, anything I say, I'll stand on it and will repeat it if I said it. You ain't gotta have it in the recording. If I said it, I'll say it to their face because it's what I believe. So I don't worry about that. I don't get into drama. I don't do the drama. I hear the drama and I entertain some of it because it'd be fun, but I don't get into all of that. I don't do all of that. You know. So at the end of the day, man, I'm out here trying to help people. It is sickening to me the money that I know that is being left on the table out here. I had to reach out to somebody else to reach out to somebody in our community to say, talk to him and see if he can get this deal because he don't know. But I don't want to directly do it because he may feel some type of way. He could be making a lot more. Tell him don't do commission. Tell him get up front. Tell him don't shoot himself short. Ask for this amount of thousands. Too many people leaving too much on the table out here for what I realize. And the most beneficial thing that I realize about YouTube now, when people donate and stuff like that, they're showing love. Any YouTuber out here begging, they just not doing what they need to do to not have to. It's ridiculous. When people that's why I tell y'all every time, man, you just dropped 20. I appreciate you. Thank you, because that's love. That's love. I don't think y'all will ever recall me saying, hey, y'all, I need more donations than that. I need an extra 20. Can wait till we get to 20. Hey, man, not only hit that like button, can I get somebody to donate? Nobody donated yet. I have never in 5 years on this channel asked anybody for anything other than to hit that like button. Because the algorithm will send the video out as a suggestion to other people that ain't even looking for me. It'll put it on their timeline. And I also discovered something about Twitter because I pay for Twitter Blue, the little $8 a month to get the check mark. I pay for it, but I also know I pay for it as a business expense, which I'll write off. But on top of that, I pay for it because I knew the benefits of it, but I didn't realize it was this good. All these people that used to have blue check marks before you could pay for it, they don't have to put the work in. They got large followings because that's how Twitter works. Do you know I gained 200 people on Twitter without any effort this month, and usually I lose people? You know why? Because the biggest benefit of the blue check mark, if you're a creator, which all creators should invest $8 a month in putting into it. It ain't no political thing. I don't know why people are trying to make it something. Every creator needs to pay $8 for Twitter if you are a creator trying to grow. Why? Because anything you respond to, you go to the top. Beyonce can tweet something today. If I respond, I'm going to be one of the blue check marks at the top response. When you read something somebody tweet, a famous person, don't you read all the other blue check marks under it to see what they had to say? And that's the benefit. You are first in line to exposure. But if Tua tweeted something before I had the blue check mark, I go in the comment section and I respond. Most people never even see my response because it's 1,000 responses. There's 1,000 responses. Hold on, my wife calling. I'm late for dinner, by the way. I was supposed to be there at 9:30. Hello? Oh, my bad. I'm coming now. For $8, people see you. Yes, but you're a creator. This is the first time I've ever paid for anything on the channel that is kind of advertisement based. I still got to put the work in, but you got other YouTubers. Hey, man, you should pay Google ads. They'll put your video in the suggested. You should do this, and they'll boost your video. And I'll be like some people have offered that suggestion. And now I understand why some people grow at the rate that they grow too. But I've never spent money. I've always wanted to organically grow because I'm very selective on the audience. I want them to really rock with me. I don't want a large audience of just a whole bunch of people because of the exposure. I want to be the raw, true me. But that's the only reason I paid for Twitter Blue. is because I knew that was going to put me at the top of the algorithm. So I haven't responded to a Dolphins tweet in never. But now I'm going to start responding to all Dolphins tweets because all Dolphin fans follow the Dolphins. And they're going to see me at the top. There's still a lot of people don't even know I exist. When I say something crazy, who is this guy? I've never heard of him. Oh, there goes some love. TD, I have a Dolphins fan at work. He comes in and he says, you see him do good. Then I told him after Armstead went out and he got sacked. Then I said Skylar didn't get sacked after he came in. What I do? Came in, what I do? I think I read the flow of that bad. TD, I have a Dolphins fan at work. He comes in and he says, you see him do good, doing good, I'm going to assume. Then I told him after Armstead went out and he got sacked. Then I said Skylar didn't get sacked after he came in. What I do? I mean, you got a point, but, it was a small sample size for Tua. Yeah, Skylar didn't get sacked, but he also was under duress. He had to get rid of the ball, had a few misfires. So, I mean, both of them played trash without Armstead, so it is what it is. But I think your main point is about Tua was getting sacked. I think Tua just got so comfortable in a clean pocket. That's what this team is giving him. We were just absolutely atrocious. Let's just look at a larger sample size of how Tua plays without Armstead over the next few weeks. So we'll see, all right? But like I said before, I appreciate the love, homie. I got to get out of here. I got a dinner date at the wife at 9 or 9:30 p.m., which I'm over an hour late for because I love y'all so much. And we were having great talk. See, this is what I love about the channel. It ain't always got to be 100% football. And how can I do this? Because everybody watching rock with me. We still got 300 people watching me go on about the stuff that I'm going on about. Because they rock with me. We're having a normal conversation. I used to get those, can we just keep it Dolphin stuff? That ain't what I tried to build over here. I tried to build a Dolphin family, not a Dolphin strictly content channel. A Dolphin family. And to barely talk about the Dolphins for an hour, and we still got over 300 people watching, which on this stream we had a little less than 400 at max tonight. This is what the goal is. To actually have a bonded community. Not a community that only follow you because they hate the other guy. I hate TD, so I'm rocking with you. Some of these communities were built off of disliking me, and that's a fact. So this is what I am strictly trying to do. Create a community for us. And I ain't the best cup of tea, but y'all know I bring it back to reality. I don't get too far on this channel. Now, Twitter, don't follow me because you're going to think I'm bipolar. All right? Roger Goodell's burner said, but why are you mad? I'm not. But if you feel that I am, I'm sorry. Yo, TD, all good, man. Listening to you all night. You legit, bro. And it's like you said, it's like we know you. You real, bro. And I appreciate your truth and knowledge. Keep being real, bro. I appreciate that, Dylan. And let me make sure to the people that be messaging me on an email with threats. When they say I'm real, we ain't talking about no real. We ain't talking about no real dude. I almost said something. We ain't talking about no real person in the streets. TD ain't no street, no hood. No hood person. I was born and raised in it. Everything around me pretty much said it, but I ain't never been the one out there trying to act like I'm real. I'm a street dude. Don't cross me. I have intelligence. I have intelligence that almost every friend I grew up with done been to prison, struggling or whatever it may be, and I thank God for the intelligence of me being real without having to be real. This quote unquote real. And respected by every single one of them. Because I am real. And I've always been clear with every one of my homies back home. At the end of the day, I rock with you. I even hang out with you, but I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. Now, I could have easily went down that path, but the only reason I didn't is because I personally believe because in my brother in the 6th grade, he was as normal as can be. And in the 6th grade, his first day of school in the 6th grade, I was still in elementary, and he was supposed to walk to the elementary to pick us up to all walk home. And he just mentally lost it. And he's had a mental disability ever since the first day of 6th grade. I know that sounds crazy. One day you're normal and you go to 6th grade and you go to class and the teacher say you're an hour late to class. Where were you been? And you tell the teacher I was flying around the school. And my brother ain't been the same since. But that's where my family found God. And my parents prayed and they were trying to figure that out with him. They prayed and prayed. And that's how my family got in the church. I mean, my grandmama was in the church and my granddaddy, and that's the only time I ever went to church on rare occasions. My family is as hood as it can be. Every single one of not every single one, but most of my uncles either drunks or crackheads. That is a fact. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. Some of them have been to prison 50 times, and that ain't an exaggeration. I'm probably underestimating. Real talk. And I was what? Maybe, elementary school, I was rocking 8, 9 years old at the time. So for 9 years, all I know is hood. I'm right there with the homies out there playing street football, tackle on the pavement, out there running the streets. And then when you get in church, you get that perfect balance. You done had a young age of real life out there, but now you got a little structure in it and a little, and I wasn't like heavy faith when I was a jit. But you're around different people that carry themselves a different way. And that's what I think contributes to my personality. I have a perfect balance. I can go anywhere, anyway, anyhow with you. I can crank up with you if I need to. I can simmer it down if I need to. I can be whatever I need to be. I am a chameleon in this world. I could be anything. Graduate college. I can go in the business world, become a high-end manager. I could be out here in these streets. I could be everything. But if it wouldn't, I'm telling y'all, I personally will evaluate my own life. If it wasn't for that with my brother, I don't think I would have been the persona I am now. I would have been exactly what all my friends are. And not downing them. It ain't nothing down, but they've lived different lives, man. And I can see the wear on them. Anyway, I got to go. I am really making my wife mad. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Salute to y'all. You can't be on time for dinner. I know I'm just bad. Hey, let's see. You're going to keep me talking. I will see y'all tomorrow, man. Fins up no matter what. Love y'all. Peace. I'm out.